My name is Mark Dawson. I've been in this neighborhood since 2006. I was on the previous board, and I resigned before it was recalled. I have experience from that. If nothing else, I learned what not to do. But I have always wanted to help the community. This is a great place. I love every minute of living here. I live all right close. You're in through, walking, looking for an opportunity to redeem myself, to do a better job than what I had done before, and to really help this community be what it should. That's
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. And Scott's not here, but I'll give you a little bit about what we know about him. He's only been in the community.
Scott is online.
Oh, he's online? Let's put him on. Hear it from the lion's mouth.
Hey guys.
Hey Scott, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing? Sorry,
Good.
I just landed in New York.
I hear you. Thank you for coming on. There's a couple of homeowners here that are still not voted and they don't know either candidate. So they just want to hear a little bit about you to see, who they should vote for.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I posted a video. Thank you, everyone. I live at 3016 Camino Real Drive. I mean, what's that?
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, somebody's talking, but you keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I live in the neighborhood. I moved here about a year ago, and sorry I couldn't be there today. I'm just selling my house in New York, and so I had to finalize some paperwork. And when I first moved in, there was a lot of things that I had a lot of questions about that I'm sure that you guys have a lot of questions as well. And one of my, Herman stopped by my house, and I'd say first of all, there's a lot of things I'd love to help out, either with people that, just moved in, but people that have lived there for a long time. Even the last couple of days, I'm sure you guys are going to talk about it today. I've went through a lot of emails, and it seems like there's a lot of things that we can do, and I'd love to help out, and I cannot wait to help everyone out in the neighborhood. And please stop by anytime to say hello. And I think for everyone who wants to know my background, I work for Nielsen, who's a large corporate company, and I'm in charge of strategy for the next 3 years. And my job before that, I was in charge of partnerships. And so really my job was to really talk with everybody, form partnerships, and really define strategy and see, how we can all come together and come up with more revenue. So I think from my side, what I really want to do with you guys is really talk with everybody. And I know there's a lot of emails going back and forth, but I do feel the board that's in place now, they really want to help out, and we really want to make things better. So I think part of what I really want to do and come in is really form more of a partnership with everybody in the community and make the community better. So really excited to do that. And I thank everyone for where I am, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It is 7:13 p.m. This is our annual election meeting. I believe that notice was sent 14 days in advance via mail to everybody. And she needs to verify it. Or do you have the numbers that we had quorum on that?
She said that we had, but I don't know the exact numbers.
That's okay.
Right now, we have 100.
Can you just verify that the notice was sent 14 days in advance?
Yes, I'm sorry, notice is sent 14 days in advance, as per Florida statute and posted on the site.
Okay, and do we have a quorum of the membership?
We do have a quorum of the membership with currently 161.
161 members? Okay. So we're gonna, do you need more time for the?
Yes, we need 1 moment, please.
All right, what we can do is we can continue and approve the minutes.
Can somebody write the,
You got minutes there for?
I think Corey's taking them.
You got minutes?
thank you so much.
You're welcome, thank you. All right, guys, so we have the minutes of the special assessment election from September 21st. Has all of you gotten a chance to review them? Any corrections that you guys may have?
Yeah, the total vote is 251, not 250.
It's 251 here.
Yeah, it says 250.
Oh, I see it. I got you. It says,
Oh, they put it in the
in line number 2.
Yeah.
In two places, there are 250.
Okay, so I got the one in line number 2. Where's the other one?
And line
Oh,
1.
Line number 1, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I have is that it says 14-day notice in advance, the meeting sign was put up there, and it was a mail notice.
Postage was mailed notice, 14 days.
And then I didn't know, it says 334 membership in person and via proxy. Do we have to clarify electronic people or no, or does it matter?
I mean, you can put in the meeting minutes how many appeared
That's what I'm
electronically.
saying.
Yeah, I
So
would.
maybe they could just correct that then. They just put the total and they said in person or proxy.
It says in here,
No, on the top line here, 334.
234, person and online. Yeah, because they break it down here, right?
Yeah, it's broken down.
So it doesn't matter then.
You can put in person and online, and then.
I got the other.
Just make that correction and that's it. I think that's all I have. That one, anybody else? All right, we need a motion to approve the minutes of the special assessment
As amended.
That's amended.
as amended.
I made the motion.
We got a motion from Herman, seconded by
Second.
Marcelo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. There's nobody else present?
Jose is there, but
Did you vote, Jose?
Must be here.
Aye.
Okay, so unanimous passes. We're gonna move on to the minutes of the budget meeting on September 21st as well. Anybody, any discussion or corrections on the board?
I do have a few. I've noted on my end, seeing that I'm taking notes. I'll just read them out.
Yeah, read them out.
Line number 4, Marcelo's name is incorrect. It's done. It's 1 L, right? Marcelo had 2. I thought so.
Thank you.
I was like, I had to think about that.
I'm on the cello.
And then again, on line number 6, his name is incorrectly spelled. And then the order of operations, we talked about 7, line number 7, before we talked about line number 6. So we just need to swap those items to make sure it makes sense based on our recordings and everything else we have.
Okay, and I have one more on the proof of notice on number 2. It says 14 days in advance, it's really 48. That is posted. All right, anybody else? All right, let's do a motion to approve the budget meeting on Thursday, September 21st as amended.
Make a motion to approve the
Motion by
minutes
Marcelo,
as amended.
I need a second.
I second the motion.
Herman seconded, all in favor say aye.
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 One more, right?
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Motion carries. All right. We need help with the votes.
Yes, we need,
Any volunteers to help management and an attorney with the vote counting, please?
Yeah, just 2 random people that count, just
We
keep
need
us honest.
2.
There you go.
Let's just go over there.
And Carlos? Oh, no? Oh, va a votar?
They didn't vote yet.
No. So one more person. Yeah. Thank you, Camilo.
they can sit over there, I'll be right there. Thank you.
So, I want to take a few minutes to talk about some stuff while we have some time waiting on this. I really appreciate all the homeowners that are making time to participate in person, online, and all the people that have voted. That helps our community become stronger over time. I know that there's a lot of differences of opinion on different issues, and that's okay. We like the fact that we don't agree on everything, because that makes our decisions more critical and pushes us to do better decisions in the future. However, I want to touch base on a couple things that I have heard on social media, kind of in the noise. The management has the responsibility to enforce our rules and regulations as they stand right now. Many of us, including myself, don't agree with a lot of the rules that we have, but those are the rules that were given to us. So they have to send letters. We've gone through great lengths to tone down the letter, making the first letter kind of a warning, kind of letting you know you're not in violation, you just know something is against the rules. And that letter is simply just for you to either acknowledge that something happened or try to fix it, or if there's a reason why you cannot fix it or you don't agree, there is a process for you to appeal it and call management or email them and let it go through the process and see, because, we learn a lot. I mean, there's lots of things that are subjective when it comes to enforcing rules. And, for example, the townhouses, this month has been the townhouses with the garbage cans. And the rule says that they shouldn't be visible from the street. Now, that's up for interpretation, right? Because the alleyways are technically not main streets, but they're considered street because car pass by, right? So there's a difference of opinion. It's not clear in the documents, but when these issues come up, they come here to the board meeting and we dialogue it and we come up with a reasonable solution on how to enforce that rule with those particular people. Okay, but kind of like saying like, oh, it's not fair, it's this, it's that. It's not right. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all trying to do the best thing for the community. And I just want people not to get angry about these letters, not to get upset. Our manager does make mistakes, just like we do too. And sometimes there has been letters that have been sent out that shouldn't have been sent out. And it's part of the process of growing. We have another new manager now, so doing his best, and we're doing better than we were. There's still a lot of room for improvement, though. And I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want homeowners to start getting negativity about the violations process. We have implemented the compliance committee because once you get beyond a certain point, you have communicated the intentions of resolving the violation, then you get an opportunity to come in front of the compliance committee to say why you're not complying. And they will listen to you and they will try to understand your point of view and see if it's necessary to keep enforcing it, or if it's necessary to give you more time, or maybe the violation is frivolous, that they didn't just understand what's going on. And, so there's a process for this that helps protect every homeowner here. And yes, ma'am.
So I have a townhouse in the hotel. So is there a solution that we should approve with?
Are you talking about the garbage cans?
Yes, the garbage cans.
We're going to talk about it today during our regular meeting. Right now we're doing the election, so after the election we're going to have a regular meeting. Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk about a solution that would be plausible for the moment. We're also in the process of rewriting the rules for the community, and it's a long process. You guys all have input. Once we have a draft that the board feels comfortable with approving, we're going to disseminate it to the community for everybody to read it and give their feedback and see what we come up with, right? If everybody agrees on certain things, we can make our own changes. And the bottom line is we're going to have another election. This is going to be the biggest election because right now all the elections have been more than 51%. Well, to change our rules, we need 75%. So we're really going to have to go out there and get these votes, and then the current rules will go out the window. We'll have our own rules created by us, and I think everybody will be happy. But it's a process, and I just want everybody to understand that we're working on it, and it just takes time. It's not easy. I think we've been here a year and some months now, and we've tackled some big animals that were on our properties here, creating serious issues. And I think we're kind of getting a breather right now over the holidays. And come the early part of next year, we're going to go back to work and try to get a lot of these other issues that need to be resolved going in the right direction. Okay? Yeah, go ahead, Marcelo.
Just one thing. Mario mentioned that the next vote is going to require 75% of us, basically. That's a lot of people. That means a lot of involvement. What I want to go with this is sometimes we don't get involved because we think that the issues don't affect us or our houses because it's on the other side of the community or it's something that, I don't care because it's the tennis court and I don't play tennis, whatever, right? But when it comes to something that we care, then other people doesn't care and then we don't have quorum to change things. My point is this. Even if we're talking about something that might not affect you personally and your houses, come to the meetings and have a voice because eventually we will be talking about something that might affect you and you might want all the other people to do the same for you.
Following what he was saying, we're gonna have coming soon a lawsuit, that is going against the builder and contractor that did the townhouses. So that doesn't affect the single family, but the single family need to help them. It doesn't cost any money, it doesn't cost anything, but we need the votes because those lawsuits, obviously, anything above, whatever we have in our document, we need the 75%. So we need to be united just to help one another because if the townhouses look good, everybody looks good.
That's a good example. Single families might say, well, that's a townhome problem, I don't care about it. But if we don't have the 75% votes to pursue the lawsuit can go forward, right? So even if it doesn't affect you, somebody else might need the vote to do something right, okay?
Yeah. There's a lot of examples of that in the community. Sangria, Menorca, all those streets belong to the HOA, and we all gonna have to incur some degree of responsibility with those things. And it's good to stay involved. It's good to be part of the process. I know that not all of us have time to be at every meeting, read every paper that comes through. And as we get better, there's going to be a lot more information, a lot more to keep up with. But if from time to time you make the effort to talk to your neighbor, to stay informed of the big issues, then everybody will be able to help to make things better. So that's all I want to say about that. Do you want to say anything? No? Okay. And you want to say the housekeeping rules before we move forward?
Oh, I think they're ready to go. Let's keep moving.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to get the election results now.
So the total number of ballots cast for Scott is 84, and the total number cast for Mark was 58, so Scott wins the seat.
And what was the total number of? So
84 plus 58, whatever that works out to.
how much?
84 plus 58, whatever that works out to. 92.
142.
142.
Yeah, 142. All right. 142 doesn't make sense.
Because the rest, they voted as a.
Yeah, they're quorum only. There's another 24 that just voted
Oh,
president.
Okay, I was saying, it's not really quorum.
No, there's another 24 that just voted president.
So 24 voted in person.
No, they voted
Quorum,
president.
So voted present for the quorum.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, so that's how we made the quorum. So in essence, we had 166 total. 166. Okay, all right. Scott is still online?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
Scott,
still on.
Did you hear the results of the election?
I did. Thank you.
All right, so congratulations, welcome to the board, I wish you were here. And Mark, thank you for participating, don't get discouraged. There's a lot of work to be done, and we all gotta keep working together. By the way, I have to recognize Mark and Tim, because they're hardcore owners. These guys are participating more than me and Herman and anybody else, so I really applaud you guys for all the hard work you guys do. I know that I can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but thank you, I really do appreciate it. All right, so where we headed now? So managers report?
No, we're not there yet.
No.
This is the membership meeting, so there's unfinished business, new business.
So we don't have any unfinished business for this, any new?
No.
No, so you'll close out the member meeting and then you'll open up the board
All right, so we're adjourning the member meeting at 7:29 PM.
Are we gonna do anything with the election of directors? Now's the time that we can change anything if we're
You talking about for officers?
officers.
No, that's
You
the
can-
next meeting,
That's the next meeting.
organizational.
Yeah.
Then why is that my agenda? It says election of directors.
Election of the board members.
Gotcha. My
The
misunderstanding.
election, the organizational is the next meeting right after.
My misunderstanding. Thank you.
Now, organizational meeting doesn't have to occur.
10 days after the annual meeting. However, it's occurring in the next meeting, that's what it's based on the second one.
So like you're gonna do it in a couple of minutes? You're just gonna do it as part of your board meeting?
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
think we should do.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That's what I was getting at. Okay, so we're gonna adjourn, motion to adjourn, or
I'll make a motion to adjourn the members meeting.
anybody second?
I second the motion.
Second by Herman, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting
Aye.
adjourned. All right, unanimous, motion carries, meeting adjourned at 7:30 PM. All right, move on to the next meeting here. All right, I'm gonna call the board meeting to order. It is 7:30 PM. And we have a quorum of 4 board members present, Herman, Marcelo, myself, and Corey. And we have 2 board members online, Jose Sanchez and Scott Monahan. Now we open it up to the homeowners. If anybody has anything they want to say with regards to the current agenda for this meeting today.
Proof of notice.
Oh, proof of notice, sorry.
Whose notice is posted as per Florida statute.
Sorry. Now we have open floor to the members that want to speak about the agenda. Anybody have anything they want to say regarding today's agenda? No? Okay. We'll move forward then. We already did acceptance of the minutes meetings, so now we're at the manager's report. So I have a copy of the manager's report. You have anything we should say about this?
No, not necessarily. Currently, right now, you have 422,181 in operating cash, prepaid is 75,173, accounts receivable 505, 1,616, and reserve you have 419, 974, AP outstanding is 11,090. It's pretty much all, obligations ongoing, on a monthly basis. Let's see. There were 10 ERB requests for the month, the previous month, and this is what I'm speaking is for the previous month, so the month of September, just FYI. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. So the only thing I want to mention is on the accounts receivable, the number's high because of the special assessment. That's included in that big number. The actual people that are behind is a lot lower. Okay?
And the other thing to notice is the reserves funds that are looking good.
They get better every month.
Yep.
All right, legal, any update on collections?
So I've got 14 liens that are currently filed against our principal offenders. I don't know if you guys have the most recent AR report handy, but of anyone who's got a balance over $1,000, with the exception of 4, I've got a lien on every one of them. So we're going to keep after them to see if we can get them to make some payments and bring that balance down. But if they don't, at some point, there's going to be a decision that needs to be made on whether or not we're going to push that further. So you have a year since the liens filed to be able to make that decision. You don't have to do it right this second. But if we don't do anything in the next 12 months, we'll just have to refile a lien. So everybody's situation is a little bit different. So I don't generally like to make blanket statements about when a good time is to pull the trigger on foreclosure. But at some point, if we're not getting any progress, we're not getting contact from a homeowner, that decision's got to be made. So just keep that on your radar. I've got one property that I have an intent to lien that's still outstanding on, and I got another 13 that have demand letters out, which is the very first step. So the next step will be an intent to lien letter if we don't get any action on the next 2-3 weeks or so. So altogether, I got about 28 properties that we're tracking. The actual collectible numbers, I'm estimating at around 47K, which is about the same as it was last month. So and I know we had a few homeowners come off that list because they paid up, but we had a couple more come up in balance too. So they kind of offset one another. So we're still hovering around the same number.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer, anything you want to say?
No, I mean,
Team management said,
we talked about the money we have, and we also mentioned reserves fund. So,
Yeah, so the good news is we're pretty much in the green on most months, and we're doing our best to contain costs and be responsible with the trust that homeowners are putting on us with regards to money. Okay, we'll move on to
secretary.
Secretary. You got anything for us today?
We do not, have anything to report.
Okay.
Currently, no.
All right, so we'll keep moving on. Committee report. Architect.
We did have a meeting. We had 3 properties requests looked at. Myself, Mr. Lynn, and Mr. Rivera, who was on teams. And we got 3 properties that we approved that had been on the internet on the system. That's pending. So the only thing that we had was the use of stamped concrete, which is, in my mind, and everybody pretty unacceptable, as opposed to being separated with papers. Makes it look like that, but that's not what it is. And we had a 4th property that we got that day, 17, that came in. Israel asked us to go ahead and look at that, and we did, and we approved that. So we had a total of 4 applications all were approved.
Good. All right. Now, I have a note here on the agenda about 3172 Via Palma. I know, I guess the issue is the insurance claim went through, and they're asking for approval of the tiles that they should put because our tiles are discontinued. We've had this issue before with other houses in the area, and I think that, my opinion, and the board can weigh in on this, is that the homeowner should work with the contractor and come up with maybe 1 or 2 or 3 choices that look the closest to ours, and kind of submit that to the ARC, and the ARC to decide which one is the most appropriate, and try to honor the owner's.
I know we have had a couple that we have approved in the last 6 months or so that used what I thought was a pretty good match.
So maybe make that suggestion as well. That stuff that has already been approved. Now, the only issue I had with this, which is why I was looking into this, is that it's a townhome building. So you have 4 units. And 1 unit in the center is the unit that's going to have the roof replaced. So you're going to have a situation where a section of the building is going to look different to everything else. Not only that, but my biggest concern is that repairing the roof may lead to the other people's roofs leaking, and then that's going to make her liable. So I had an opportunity to talk to her about this. And, this building is one of the oldest townhouse buildings that are here. So, I think it's imminent that roof needs to be replaced. And I think it's a good time, in my opinion, to kind of see if the HOA board wants to consider replacing the entire roof, given that she's already committed to replacing her part. And I think it saves the association money, plus for aesthetics of the building will look better, and we can avoid the problems of adjacent units it's getting any water intrusion. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. The reserves are built up, I think the reserves are there. So I went ahead and, you know, she likes this contractor. I have no experience with the contractor, but I've heard of them. They're pretty big in Florida. It's Janney Roofing. So she's already working with them. I went ahead and asked them for a proposal, but I think that, you know, we can negotiate with her. If the board agrees to go this route, we can negotiate getting more bids and seeing if she's agreeable to doing it differently, or have her contractor do hers and ours will do the rest. I don't know. I prefer to have one contractor do the whole thing and hold them responsible for it. But
I think the idea is worth considering, right? Given the aesthetics and the security issues. So, and given the fact that that roof is over 10 years old, right? So,
it's one,
2007, right?
2006, I think. That's
Oh, 2006.
okay, almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
So if not this year, maybe next or the following should be replaced. So eventually.
Did Paul Janik give us the name of a contractor that they use to do their work?
We have I&E Construction. I haven't asked him for a proposal because, actually I did ask him to get a proposal, but I think he got the wrong address. He sent me a proposal for another building on Via Otero, but it's via Palma. So if we can get I&E to weigh in on it too, that's fine.
Well, because the only reason I mention it is because if those guys are used to doing roofs that are involved in these types of litigation, they know exactly what pictures to take, what to document.
Right.
And that's a real benefit to us. So even if the price is a little bit different, it might be worth it.
Yeah, we need to figure out that, and also, you know, her part, right? Because if the owner wants just to work with that person, then
She has no obligation to work with us, you know?
correct. So
I mean, technically she does because it's not her responsibility to do the roof, it's ours. I know she's got a big old fat insurance check that's going to cover the cost of that, which ordinarily we wouldn't care, right? We'd be like, yeah, sure, fix the roof, right? We're not paying for it. But we're kind of in a different situation right now where the entire roof needs to be done, not just her section, so.
Okay, so the direction then would be then to get I&E to bid, and then you guys reach out to the homeowner, and
Yeah, see what the numbers come back, because I mean, if the numbers can be astronomical, this whole thing might be a moot issue anyway, right? So
yeah.
let's take it one step at a time, let's figure out what it's gonna cost, and then we can.
yeah, but I agree to, you know, replace the whole roof. It doesn't make any sense just to do one part.
So I will send you the proposal that I received from Janney Roofing, and maybe we can get it. The thing is, I really don't want to delay this so much.
Correct.
We're waiting a long time. And I really think that, you know.
Contingency,
Why can't
we can
approve
put,
a contingent?
Is she willing to do a repair instead of a replace?
I don't think so.
the insurance is already approved for replacement.
That doesn't matter.
It matters because
Well,
it's
it doesn't
already
matter.
approved.
They paid the claim, it's her claim, she's got a check now, she can do what she wants with it. The insurance company's not gonna do anything else with it. So if she
Well, they're
decides
going to
to.
come and check because otherwise her insurance is going to go up because the roof is not repaired or replaced, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they'll come
They have
and
to
check,
verify
make
it's
sure the
fixed.
roof is
I mean,
taken care of.
That's probably true, yeah. If
Yeah.
instead of doing, if she gives a replace, her premium would probably either at least stay the same or go down, maybe, I don't know.
Right. So they will come and check.
I don't know, but if there was a chance that I could put a big old fat check in my pocket and let the HOA replace the roof as part of the construction defect case, that's just me though. She can do what she wants, I guess.
Yeah, so I think we
talking
do,
from the legal end of replacing just a middle section, the liability as well. Any thoughts on?
She's got insurance, and so does he. So.
Is that one of the buildings that are in this lawsuit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, all the buildings are,
All the
well,
buildings.
yeah. All
Yeah,
the buildings
but
are.
Paul Janik has said that we can do repairs as needed. We just need to make sure that we do a good job documenting the damage so that we can submit receipts when the time comes, right? So that's.
but I understand what he's saying, that like if that building is on it because it's 2006.
Yeah.
And I don't
So,
think
but-
that lawsuit cover all the way to 2006.
It does. Because
Well, no, because it's 10 years from the date of turnover. Or no, it's from the date it should have been discovered. I think the defect could have been discovered.
So it doesn't go back to 2006.
Yes,
We don't need to go back to 2006.
because we're submitting before the law changes, and before the law changes, It's 10 years since the day you discovered the flaw,
Discover the defect.
the defect. Now,
Okay,
if we,
when was discovered the defect?
now,
It's not
last
the
year,
install date. The install date's not the date you discover the defect. It's whenever you're like, hey, you have this up.
Because whenever we made the first repair.
whenever you have the first leak, right? Now, if we find after the law changes, then yes, you're right.
So anyway, so if it's covered, then I don't know, we have to,
Paul
yeah.
Janik thinks it's covered, so I'm gonna go with it's covered for now. I mean, that's their area of expertise. So if they're convinced that it's included, then
No, if it's included, it's included, but.
anyway, but on whether or not we should be doing the repair because it's involved in all of that, the guidance they've given us is if we can have it done, we just need to make sure we do a good job documenting it, because that is going to be our evidence later to get reimbursed for that expense.
Chris, question for you. Would the same apply if we decide to replace the roof? Meaning document everything, they need to replace it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and then we get reimbursed, right?
Yeah. I mean, whether
So-
you do a section or whether you do the whole thing, the same rule's gonna apply.
But you said repair, and saying replace.
Yeah, the same rule's gonna
Okay,
apply.
good.
Yeah. You gotta document all that.
Okay.
I will go to approve a contingency because she's been waiting for a long time.
You don't even know what the number is.
I know the
You need
number.
to gauge
Yeah, she has already.
to do her section or do the whole roof.
To do the rest of the roof that we're paying for. Her section, she already got a price for her section.
Oh,
She's ready to go with them.
What would they tell
She
you?
just wanted ARC approval on the how, but I wanted to jump in there and kind of tell them just do the rest of the roof while you're at it and it's what it pay.
What's the number? Was it
89
to do the whole, the rest of it, or that's
to do the rest of it. It was like 111 to do the whole thing.
to do the whole thing?
So it's 89. Let me get the exact number so that.
And that's from, who?
This is from Janney Roofing.
Okay, so we're looking for a quote from A&E?
Yeah, it's $89,122.
We can get a proposal from the same contractor that is gonna do her roof,
Right.
from E&E, and then we got that,
Okay.
and we go from there.
Yeah, that's it, you know.
Can we get those quotes next week?
I'm sure they're gonna get a quote for it. I mean, the quote for Janney's already good. I
Or
got
the
it.
other two?
Which other two?
Well,
one
the
for
same company?
She wants, and the one
Yeah, I have the one she has.
for the whole day.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's just 89,122.
Okay, so the quote from the company Paul Chinese is recommending,
They haven't bid.
okay, if we can get that quote and the other one from
And
A&E.
then, no, E&E is that one. So then we need another one, so we can get Skylight Roofing.
Get Skylight.
Okay. But E&E is the one from,
So can we do that contingency not to exceed 90,000 and then take the lowest of those three bids?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that. And can we get,
So,
can we get those by, thank you for coming, can we get those bids by next week?
no, like yesterday.
It's gonna take a little longer for you to get them, it's typically a 2-week wait, but I have the information to provoke, obtain proposal from IE for that specific group.
We already have that.
no,
No,
I have Janney.
Oh, Jan, okay.
So IE is a construction vendor that
Yep.
is working directly with Volcanic, so we're gonna reach out to them to see exactly what they can provide us.
They might already have the number because they've already done the inspection. Because that's supposed to be part of the report they give us on the 8th, right? It's what the.
Right, they should have a pretty good idea of how much that would
They
cost,
might
because
already
they've been
have it.
inspecting everything.
Whatever I have, I'll give you guys.
So these are the options, guys. Either we do a contingency pending those
Yeah.
bids, or we're gonna have to hold a
Do them
special meeting to approve it, because I'm not waiting another month. for this
No.
thing.
No,
I mean,
no,
I
no.
promised her we would have an answer. If we need evidence, I mean, I'm okay with approving a contingency of 90K,
Me too.
and whichever of the three bids comes the lowest, I'm okay. All three companies, in my opinion, are reputable. And I think that, you know, she's probably gonna be gung-ho that she wants that company to do it, because that's what she contracted. And I don't know if that's even an option, but I'm okay with entertaining other companies to see what the money's ready with.
Does that company give you a price if plywood needs to be replaced on there too?
That company gives you the pricing on the wood, it's there, but they don't include it in that price. So it just tells you what they're gonna charge you should they find those things. It's not an IE, but the rod allowance, they don't do that, they just say, whatever we find, we're gonna bill you for at this amount. So the pricing is upfront.
Okay,
So
so,
what do you guys wanna do?
why don't we make a motion, I'll make a motion to approve up to 90,000, contingent to the additional quote. And all the necessary steps to make sure that this can be submitted into the lawsuit and get reimbursed in case we win, according to Balchanix rules
Protocol.
or protocols.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I second the motion. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna approve contingency up to 90,000 to
Mhm.
replace, what building is that on our,
3172.
I want the number of our building on your chart. So that, yeah. I think it's building one, but I want to verify.
15.
It's 15?
Yeah. One is Puerto del Sol.
Oh, yeah, they started,
Yeah.
they go back.
15.
So building 15 on our chart. Okay, and you're gonna get two more bids, one from Skylight Roofing and one from INE. And then, so,
And make sure that all the vendors can comply with the protocols
Yeah.
and
provide them with all the Janix protocols so that they can commit to that contractually. Okay, and, anybody gonna second that motion?
I did.
Herman? And then all in favor say aye.
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 That's not on anymore, right?
No.
All right, so that's,
4.
yeah, so we
Five.
can,
five, seven.
we can make a note if you want that 750 start. And
Okay, but yeah, that would be unanimous. Yeah, so 750, Scott Hamilton's not with us at this point. So there's only 5 members still remaining, so it's unanimous, the 5 approve this, okay?
Hey,
Who's that?
Hey,
Yeah,
Herman.
Jose.
I said aye.
Yeah, we heard you, Jose.
Okay, not a problem.
Anything from compliance committee?
We're still on hold because the paperwork could not be mailed out by Artists in time.
Thanks for bringing that up. So, Zeke?
Yes.
So this has been an issue now for a couple months where we have to come up with some sort of schedule to get these third letters out in a timely fashion for your mail to send them out 14 days before their meeting. Your meeting is set for the second Tuesday or third Tuesday, which is it?
Okay, it would normally be this time next week, the 26th would be the normal time for our meeting,
So it'll be the fourth Tuesday.
or Thursday.
So you would do it on, that's our.
Tuesday?
You told me
Okay,
Tuesday.
You're right, Tuesday, you're
Yeah.
right.
So the fourth Tuesday of every month.
24.
So we gotta find out how we can mail these things out to make sure that the hearings can be held on that fourth Tuesday of every month.
Okay.
Okay? And let's try to make this happen for November.
When this happened, DeWitt was telling me that we had, I don't know, a dozen or so letters that needed to be sent out, and that they wouldn't touch them without 5 days' notice in their mail. Which to me, it makes no sense, if it's only a handful of letters, a dozen, then they should just be able to mail those. I have never heard of a mail room that scheduled stuff 5 days in advance. That's not the way the business runs. So-
Well, I think that's a general mail, but I mean, when it's that low volume, can't we just do it
We
manually?
print it, it is manually, but we have to send it to the department for printing, so they have to print out the envelopes, the labels and all that. Please keep in mind that it is annual budget season everywhere, so that is why it's taking a little bit longer, so we have to give them a 5-day grace period in order to prep for the mailer to go out.
And then the
So
later.
it's a 15-day notice, 14-day for your documents, plus an additional 5 to mail out. So what I'm going to tell you is that he needs to do inspections the first week. Because if you do them the first week, that gives them way more than enough time to get his violations out.
So the third letter should include, make sure the meeting, the hearing date.
It says 5 business days, so I don't even think that would work.
What do you mean?
Well,
I talked to Stuart about this, and I think we came up with the 7th of the month. If he can get it to the mail by the 7th of the month, then they should be able to send them out.
but like,
on
for
time.
instance, the 7th would be a Saturday, and that would give
But I'm
them,
saying, Jeff, by the 7th, they gotta have to be in the mailroom, so they can do their 5 days, and no later than the 12th, the letter should be sent out, and that will get us to the 4th Tuesday.
And then on the
that
third
depends on-
letter,
that depends on when the week starts, because if your meeting is on.
but they should adapt, if it's on the weekend, they should adapt.
Every month is not gonna be the same.
Right, my point though is, like, for instance, for this month, the letters would have had to been in the mail by the 10th. So if you had made a rule that says it had to be in the mailroom by the 7th, that left one business day to do it.
They would have put it on Friday.
Well, that still would have been Monday, they would have had only Monday to process that. So I'm thinking what you might need to do is just say, look, it's gotta be done by the 1st of the month. That
The
gives
thing
you,
is that the inspections have to be done.
yeah, you do the inspection after the meeting. So with, like, for instance, if we're meeting the 24th, you do your next round of inspections this week, and then you get your notice in by the 1st. That gives you plenty of lead time to get it done.
Does that work for you guys?
So do the inspections last week of the month, that way the first week of the month, we can have it into the mail.
And then, like we said, on the third letter should include the hearing date. If that compliance is not being taken care of, already the third letter has the hearing date.
Yes.
Just in case that person
third letter is
doesn't.
the only one that has a 14-day mailing deadline.
Yeah,
The-
that's
the
the
other-
only letter that has.
Yeah.
The other
But
ones.
before I think it was sending, they were sending the third letter and then another letter saying the hearing date is
So
this day.
currently, you guys have 1 letter, 2 letters, and the hearing letter, is that what you guys
Yes.
currently
Yes.
have at the moment?
No,
No.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we have currently?
It's supposed to be that way.
Yeah,
No, currently we have 1, 2, 3, and then,
No.
no, that's how they
That's
do
the
it.
confusion right
oh,
there.
that's how you,
The 3rd letter is the hearing letter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris has verified that.
You guys can make me look it up.
You wrote the policy.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, I gotta look it up.
Now, question, these letters, we need approval from the board before we send these letters out, so these need to be in meetings, your monthly meetings, to approve to send these letters out.
Council?
Yeah, so the third one is gonna be by the meeting,
But why do we have to approve the letter? Do we have to approve these letters?
You have to approve.
So
send these
the way you can fix that is that you approve it the first time the letter goes out. So you say, okay, here's my list of violations, this is the first notice they're getting. Yes, take that all the way to the 3rd letter, right? Because if they get to the 3rd letter, you're noticing the same violation we've already sent 2 letters on. So that's how you can make up for that gap. So at the time the 1st letter goes out, they give you the list, you say, yep, that looks good, violation, run with it.
So then there's a list of all the first letter violations every month.
So every month, yeah. You guys have them on your manager's report. It'll show you exactly what's on there. First letter, second letter, third
Yep.
letter, hearing letter, everything that's on there.
so here, should we approve
So
now?
we just make that motion now then? Or
Yes,
whatever's on
I
that list now?
definitely say that anything that's on the final letter, the hearing, or excuse me, final letter hearing that needs to be sent to the hearing.
Yeah, so the one that I have says first letter, then hearing notice. So you get 2 letters. You get a first letter, then you get a hearing notice.
Yeah, but we had said that the first letter is not really a violation letter, it's kind of a friendly reminder. And the second letter is a violation letter, and then we get the hearing. That's what we said, 3 letters.
That's not the way we wrote it. That's not the way we wrote it. If you want to write it that way, we can.
Then you have to bring it back to get it approved again.
It's up to you, man. If you guys want to change it, it's easy enough to change.
No, we need to follow whatever is already implemented.
The
What
way
is
it's written
it?
is it's first letter, then hearing notice.
And that's how it said it right now.
I have first letter, second letter, hearing, final hearing letter.
But that's
So
probably
first is
based
a
on.
reminder, second notice, and then hearing letter.
Do you read that part?
Yeah,
I'm just curious, I never recall reading that.
Yeah, so it says homeowner shall receive a written letter at his or her place of residence, blah, blah, blah. Give them approximately 3 weeks. If after the first notice non-compliance has not been ready, the second notice shall be, oh, no, you're right, I'm sorry. You're right. Because we changed it the first, no, you're right.
yeah, at the beginning we did, but we changed it, to 3.
So You guys, can we just make a motion for all violations that are currently active to be pursued?
All the way to the,
Sure. Do you want to look at a list before you do that, though? I mean, it's up to you, but you could do that.
But we gotta do each one of them?
Well, no, you just look, just look it over and say, yeah, let's go ahead, because, I mean, the types of violations, the number of people, I mean, remember, that's an expense that's going out for all of them.
Does that be the first? Why can't we do it in the second?
You could.
That's what I think we should do that.
Correct.
I agree with Corey.
You could do
Well, the
that.
second ones are the one that you should be doing, because those are the ones that are going to the hearing, the next set are going to the hearing.
Right. So I'm gonna make a motion to take anything into the second, letter, according to our resolution, and pursue them through.
Anybody second that?
I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 It's unanimous, motion carries. So we'll do that moving forward.
And then again, for the violation, just to clarify, make sure the letters has the pictures on it, on the information.
Yeah, and if we can, so the violation letters that are currently being sent allow only 2 weeks even for major stuff. We need to correct that, because I think we've addressed this at a previous board meeting, where I said we should give 30 days. And Z brought up something earlier, which we're only doing inspections once a month, why can't we just give them 30 days? And we're only doing them once a month, if we give them 2 weeks, nobody's gonna go and re-inspect in 2 weeks.
Correct.
So what's the point? Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
So, do we need a motion for that?
Yeah, because we're gonna
Talking
change.
about changing the timing between letters?
Yes.
Well, the time,
The
No,
timing
the
is
time
still
to-
the same,
No.
it's just a verbiage on
The-
the
the
letter
verbiage
that
can
says
fix
14
the-
days.
Right,
So
we're
you
not
just
just 2
change
weeks.
it to say 30 instead of 14.
no, you don't need a motion for that, just let them.
Yeah.
So let's extend that to 30 days. Okay?
We're not changing the policy.
Correct, it's not changing policy, we're just updating the verbiage.
Yeah.
Anything else on that, guys? Anything else in compliance, violations, anything? Nope. All right. Financial committee? Anything?
We never called the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Buenas noches. Tengo una pregunta sobre he recibido muchas cartas del HOA, que tengo que cortar la grama, que tengo que fertilizar la grama, que tengo que cortar el pasto de mi jardín. Eso lo hice, limpié todo el jardín porque yo les envié la foto y ahora nadie echa un químico para matar la hierba ni nada. Es más, la hierba me ha tocado cortarla a mí en la parte de atrás porque los señores medio la cortan. Antes entraba la otra compañía de las que entraba a mi jardín a premiar los sacos, ahora no. Ahora esta nueva compañía no hace absolutamente nada. Es más, duran 3 horas. 3 horas yo he contabilizado, los he visto acostados bajo un árbol frente a mi casa. 3 horas.
Just for everybody else to know,
O sea, bueno, entonces, ¿qué pasa? Entonces, ¿para qué estamos
sí,
pagando?
denme un segundo y lo voy a contestar, pero quiero que los que hablan inglés también sepan lo que usted está diciendo.
Okay.
So I'm just going to translate what she said. She's complaining about the landscaper saying that the previous landscaper used to cut the back and in certain areas that they're not cutting now. She feels they're not fertilizing, they're not putting any weed control or anything, that she's having to do this. So I just wanted everybody to know what she said. So la respuesta es que usted tiene que someter una queja en el website bajo el link que ayuda para landscaping, dejándole saber cuál es el problema. Y ellos vienen, ellos lo revisan y ellos le explican por qué no pueden hacer. Lo hemos hecho.
Ya lo he hecho en varias ocasiones y no ha pasado nada. La vez pasada usted puede...
Señora, yo estaba ahí presente cuando fuimos a su casa y usted ni salió. ¿Ok? Usted abrió la puerta y nos abrió por la puerta.
Arreglé, quité toda esa hierba y coloqué un jardín nuevo. Y en este momento sigue la misma historia, o sea, ¿qué tengo que hacer?
Ya le dije lo que tiene que hacer.
Le repito, me llegan cartas de ustedes.
Buenísimo,
Tengo que
Juan.
cortar la grama.
Es personal. Doña, usted sabe lo que tiene que hacer.
Que tengo que cortar la grama, que tengo que fertilizar el pasto.
Señora, tenemos que seguir adelante, por favor, ya, suficiente, ya, por favor. Gracias.
Pero
no, es que eso es personal, esta es una reunión para la comunidad. Y usted tiene que traer cosas de la comunidad. Y eso es personal, ya le dije lo que tiene que hacer y eso es lo que tiene que hacer y se le resuelve sus problemas.
Yo vivo en la comunidad.
Correcto, pero es personal lo que se está hablando.
Señor, ¿me puedo manifestar a la señora?
Pero le pedí que parara, yo tengo que hacer, disculpe si usted no
Es mi dinero. Cuando yo compré la casa, me dijeron, va a pagar tanto por fertilización de pasto, por el corte de grama y por todo, y se había venido haciendo el servicio hasta la que trabajó la compañía pasada de la serie. Es ahora que no están haciendo nada en mi casa, señor.
Pero como él dice, nosotros somos...
No tengo derecho a reclamar, no tengo derecho a decir nada.
Yo tengo derecho a reclamar, doña, pero aquí no es el sitio ni el tiempo para que usted lo haga. Es lo que le estoy diciendo.
Con la mano y...
Ponga su queja. Ponga su queja como todos los demás.
Si no me escuchan, si mando los cortes y no me escuchan.
Entonces traiga sus pruebas de que usted ha hecho lo que dice que ha hecho y que no le están respondiendo. Eso es lo que tiene que hacer.
Mire, yo tengo una queja puesta sobre mi techo, vivo en un townhouse, y estoy en el board hace 9 meses. Nunca dije nada, porque tampoco quiero abusar de mi posición en el board sobre esto. Y cuando hago la queja, uso el email de mi esposa para que nadie sepa que es una persona del board la que está haciendo la queja. Yo la entiendo, a veces...
Ustedes, perdón, ustedes están acostumbrados a que nosotros como corderitos pague. Ahora, ¿dónde está? Estamos pagando por el gate. Ahora no tenemos servicio de gate hace un año.
This is why we can't allow this.
Hace un año. ¿Y dónde está nuestro dinero?
So anyway, so here we got a lot of personal issues. We instruct the person
There's no business being in this meeting.
to talk to the manager, and also we are a landscaping committee. We went to her house, we addressed the issues, we told them what to do, but apparently it's a miscommunication. We told them that she need to redo and complain. Like if you have anything in your house and they come and they don't do it, what you do, you put another complaint and another complaint, so then we can get accountable that vendor. If that vendor is not doing the job for whatever reason, when we went with the vendor to her house to figure out what the issue was. Le pido otra vez, haga ese complaint. También ahí está la manager, ella puede escribirle y nosotros, el comité de landscaping, puede ir otra vez a su casa a investigar. I told her that to do it again with the management, and then the landscaping committee can go to her house and figure out the issue.
But the complaint has to be to the HOA or to the landscaping company.
Well, we got it, the website of the Villa Sol is a link that says landscaping work order. As soon as you put a work order there, it goes to the landscaping people and the committee. You know, like myself.
And it leaves a record in our website that you made the complaint.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I understand that, but if you make the contract with the landscaping company, why do you have to be involved? It's supposed to be you and the company, why not?
Because the landscaping company says they're doing what they're contracted to do. So if they are not doing what they're contracted to do, the homeowner needs to report it. We don't have time to go to everybody's.
I report, I
Yeah.
just do my case, but I just understand.
Yeah.
She reported to you when you talk to the company, right?
But if you report anything to the website, it goes straight to that company, and it comes a copy of that email to the landscaping committee. So then we know what's going on, and we can pay attention to it.
Right.
And then if that is not fixed, then we gotta talk to that vendor and say, what's going on? Let's go to the house and figure out the issue.
And the other issue is that homeowners need to read the contract, because there's things that we are contracted to do, and there's things we're not. And a lot of complaints come from the back of the house, which in the back, we only contracted to cut the grass, that's it. So if you have planters in the back, you have vegetables, flowers, they're not gonna take care of that, that's yours to take care of.
Okay. Si es problema de la compañía de landscaping, entonces ¿por qué me envían cartas a mí? Que tengo que echarle químico al paso que nace cerca de la casa, que tengo que cortar el paso, que tengo que arreglar los sprinklers, que tengo que fertilizar el paso.
So ahí tiene toda la razón, no le deberían de dar esa carta.
So,
Pero
eso-
estamos diciendo que la
la manager.
tiene que quejarse con ella.
So, después del meeting, hable con ella para que coja su
Porque esas
nota.
cartas no las debería de estar recibiendo. Eso usted le ha dicho.
He recibido 4 cartas. Otra cosa, que las canecas de la basura no pueden estar al lado de la casa. Entonces, ¿dónde voy a tener la basura? ¿Dentro de la casa?
No se pueden ver desde la calle. Los míos yo los tengo al menos ya acondicionado.
Están al lado de la casa.
Pero se ven desde la calle, desde la acera. No se puede ver desde la acera. Esa es la regla. Por eso es lo que estoy hablando, de que las reglas hay que cambiarlas, hay que mejorarlas. Pero esa es la regla ahorita.
Ahí están al costado de la casa. No están al frente de la casa.
Pero se ven de la acera, ¿no?
Sí, las reglas en este momento están así. So we're talking about the trash can that, you know, she also said that she received some letters about the trash.
Cuatro cartas, que tengo que fertilizar el pasto, que tengo que cortar el pasto, que tengo que echarle mosh, que tengo que colocar
Correcto, lo mejor es con la manager, because ellos saben exactamente el contrato. Ellos son los que envían las cartas, nosotros no la enviamos, la envía manager.
Oiga, con todo respeto, ¿qué es lo que usted quisiera que nosotros hiciéramos? ¿Qué usted quiere que nosotros hagamos?
You don't have letter for the house?
No, we don't have no landscape.
Ella dice que no hay ninguna carta.
No calculaciones para la grama ni nada de eso. Puede ser la que se dé, porque nosotros no mandamos cosas.
Bueno, pues he recibido 4 cartas.
Eso sí la tiene.
Hay que llamar a las redes porque eso no son nosotros.
Y traiga las cartas.
Traiga las cartas.
Envíalas, tráigalas.
Si tú puedes venir aquí, venga a lo largo de aquí. Sí, tráela aquí, porque ellos tienen un manager que trabaja aquí en la oficina y habla con ellos por eso.
La única es la de las botes de basura, pero
Yo pago todos los meses de mi asociación, entonces ¿esto es para que estoy pagando yo?
Sí, pero usted no debe de recibir ninguna carta referente al landscaping, porque a nadie está recibiendo cartas de eso. Porque la asociación se encarga de eso.
Tiene que ver con eso. Puede venir durante el día aquí a la oficina para hablar con él.
Ok, él sabe lo mismo.
Viene sabiendo. Gracias.
Pero
ya.
tú verificaste que no hay cartas pendientes de ella.
No hay nada de landscaping en esta
So, el HOA no ha enviado ninguna carta, lo que está diciendo la mano.
Pero después pueden
So,
verificar.
landscaping.
Yeah. So anyway, so the manager verified that is no landscaping letters sent out. So the manager just told her to verify with the CDD if they send any letter. But from the HOA standpoint, they didn't send no letter to her from landscape. So let's continue.
Yeah, so financial committee, we didn't meet this month because we moved this meeting a week earlier and we just got the financials at the beginning of this week. But starting next month, I think we should make an effort, set a date that's convenient for all the financial committee members to meet immediately after the 15th, as soon as we can, so that we can sort through all that and have some recommendations at the meeting.
They did have a chance to look at the financials. Tim pointed out miscellaneous charges to the town, and I gave you what I saw.
Correct. So that's correct. Thanks for reminding me. So when the raccoon situation at the townhomes occurred, the money that was paid for that was put under a condo repair and maintenance line that doesn't exist. It's never existed, and it kind of looks like we're making an expenditure that's not budgeted for, and it should be under the townhome R&M.
Okay.
And they created that line. And what was the other? One of the ones you said was the water bill was kind of high.
400 and something.
400 some odd.
But that one's always high. That's the one that has most of. That one has a ton of different zones.
I know there are a lot of them, and so, in the past, anything that was about $200 less, I considered that to be fairly accurate. That was one that I have to say would be at times $1,300 to $1,400, that particular meter.
Yeah, that one was broken.
Yeah. But it has got a lot of things on it. And I guess another question is there ever going to be a chance to rationalize the townhome irrigation? Because as it stands now, if something goes wrong, it's real hard to tell what it is.
What do you mean by rationalizing?
Well, they got timers on each one, like exactly how much time.
We're much better than we were. But what I mean by that is to have a meter for this block of homes, a meter for this block of homes, a meter for this block of homes. Not to have a meter and 3 blocks of homes attached to it, because then you don't know if this one's having a problem, or the middle one, or the third one. I know there's a couple of places where 2 of the houses in the townhome are on 1 meter and 2 are on another.
Yeah, but that, I don't think Toho will
They asked
change that.
to check that, and they never could explain it.
But I don't think Toho will change
That I
that.
think has to do with the meters that supply them, because that's total water. So you would have to add meters.
Yes,
And the question is, it's gonna be expensive, and what benefit is that gonna have to us? The money's just gonna be divided into different accounts, and still gonna spend the 400.
Well, doesn't necessarily have to be a meter from Toho, could it just be one of our monitors that monitors usage?
What do you mean by that?
I don't know how they put that on the
It
system.
would just be something you pick up at Lowe's or Home Depot, and you put it in your irrigation line, and if your line's running, it's measuring the constant trickle of water. Toho is gonna be running anyway, as long as you have something running.
So your concern is that we're waiting, that there could be leaks or something like that right now?
No, that it could.
I would say I'm less concerned about that than I used to be, because I knew there were leaks. But it's still possible to have leaks or have things not working properly. And again, it's like you run it at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just an accident that you happen to notice that something is wrong.
So, okay, I see your point now. So, as you know, we have a new irrigation company now that's doing the inspections.
And that will happen.
And I was kind of impressed, and they are not only looking at broken sprinklers, that they're going in the right direction, that the time is right and everything. They're measuring pressures at the heads, the sprinkler heads. So they could actually tell if there's a leak somewhere down the line. And there's been a couple. There's been a couple of situations like this that they're going to bring up at some point in the near future, because I think they just did the inspections like a week or 2 ago, and they said that there's a couple of areas that may need to have some piping done because of that. So I agree with you. I wish there was 100% foolproof way of monitoring it all the time, but we're doing it once a month.
We can do maybe a little bit better, but one, it's worlds better than it used to be. It's worlds better.
Yeah.
But,
It's not a $60,000 budget anymore.
Mark, what if we re-engineered that? Let's think of it the opposite way. Could we assign a meter number to an address block so that when you're looking at it, you could always look at the meter number and know where that water is being spent? We know what the sprinkler heads are, we can find the meters. Would that help kind of like reverse engineer?
it would help. You know, a lot of these things, at least the bills that I used to see, would reference one address. And that was actually one of 4 or 5 townhomes. And so it was a little bit difficult to tell what was going on, especially since you basically needed a program to know that this block of addresses is this group of townhomes. This block of addresses is this one. And then you also had the problem occasionally then doing really crazy things with the piping and having no meter on a particular block of townhomes, but it's shared between 2 others.
Yes, I think this issue that he's bringing up is actually an issue with the developer, because he's the one that installed the irrigation system and had the meters installed. And the area you're talking about is the one around the mailboxes that covers Riachuelo, Via Otero, and some of the alleyways, and it's kind of like a big block there that is covered. I think it has like what, 18 zones or something like that.
That's the one that used to be almost $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Because it was leaking on Riachuelo Lane.
With the tree, that's the one that had the tree that had broken the pipe. It was right next to a sewer, so all the water was going in the sewer.
Yeah, the water was just coming straight out. My son would walk at night and said, I have to walk out the street. And I said, walk in front of it. Because it's got water. And, yeah, that's the sort of thing that is, we tried, I tried to get it fixed before, and we didn't have any success. You guys have had a lot more success, and I'm real happy to see that.
So I mean, I can talk to the irrigation people and see if they can come up with something for that.
Some way for us to be able to say, okay, this meter here is running these
Well, it sounds to me like what you really need is a baseline cost. So when everything is working the way it's supposed to, this bill should be $400. And if you get a month where it's 600, you know something busted. Right? That's really what you need is a baseline on your cost. So once the irrigation guys verify that everything is working the way it's supposed to, you let that run for 30 or 60 days, now you know what your baseline cost is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see a spike, you can be like, oh, wait a minute. Yep.
For the financial, I was talking to the homeowner. I don't know if you want to volunteer, like I told you, that job is with the lady.
Oh, okay.
Because she asked me about to look at the financials, and she's an accountant. So I said that it's good to add it to the financial committee. She said she didn't have the time, but I said, you don't need, that's something that you can take on your time. It's a committee, it's a volunteer position as well as ours. So we put our time as we can, and then you can help us, see where we can better, our expenses as Tim and Mark are doing, verifying, would you like to be?
More hands-on you have to look at these things, the better off we'll be.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking to do for us, or?
I'm thinking about that, because I don't have the time to do it, but I wanted to do it because I want to see the statement.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what is happening and how I want to spend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to know everything.
Yeah, and I think
I've
we-
been here for 16 years,
Uh-huh.
and now I see.
So even if you don't want to be part of the committee, I mean, you're welcome. If you want to review it and give recommendations to the financial committee, I'll be appreciated.
Yeah.
The financials are also on the website, so you can go on the portal and take a look at them. Anybody that is registered has access to that.
Thank you. All right. Landscaping then?
Yeah.
You got anything on landscaping?
So we met, I think it was last week, I'm lost in time, but yeah, we met, we discussed some of the issues that was brought up by some of the residents as well. They're gonna start doing the spray, the weed control and pesticide, and then after that, they're gonna do weed and feed, and the palms and trees, they're gonna be doing, as Tim and I told him, that it's better to do it by section. So they can do everything in this section 1, then finish it, then move to section 2, and so on. So everything look clean, so they don't have to go back and forth. That's what I was discussed with the vendor. And obviously the vendor asks about the mulch, so I think that's something that we could be discussed later, just to see when he gotta mulch and cut the palm tree, just to make the time.
Okay. What about the trees? So, Z, I would like management to talk to the landscaper, because we've had several meetings with him, and there's still a lot of trees and bushes that are either growing into the sidewalks or running too low over the sidewalk. And I think, it's a liability. At some point, something's gonna happen, and he is contracted to cut those trees up to 12 feet. So, I mean, if he can really look at this, I walk Camino Real South, Siesta View, and Casabella, and Siesta View and Camino Real South have a lot of trees that are still dangling. He's fixed most of them, but there's still a lot of trees that need to be cut.
But I think that's CDD, sidewalk.
Not the ones in front of the houses. Not the trees in front of the houses, not CDD, no.
Okay.
Mine is, it's right in front of the big, front window.
Your townhouse though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, townhouses, they're CDD, but in the single families, they're not. The ones that are in front of the houses, there's no trees in the edge over there.
Yeah, they're in the front yards that are hanging.
Correct, in the front yard, but I'm saying, he's taking them right away, so they're CDD, but they're not, they're HOA.
HOA.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of them. They have to go up and down our street. They should
Yeah.
walk it.
I agree. So that's one of the things that, I've brought up in response, and maybe they hear it from you guys, it'll get time.
And then make it, yeah, like a email or something, just to have it in writing. Yeah.
All right, anything else on landscaping? No? All right, safety committee,
So on the safety, just an update, we got 2 volunteers, myself and Luis Corrales of the Osceola Sheriff. We already been approved. Now we're just waiting on the vehicle that is close by just to start doing the rounds as a volunteer. Obviously, we're gonna do it as soon as, as much time we can just to go around, but it's gonna be a community service vehicle from the Sheriff Department. We're gonna have a radio. We see something, we can call it right away. And so it's gonna be a little present, of us going around, and I hope that, helps more since it's gonna be a sheriff vehicle, in the community. And then if we want volunteers, you can join that area if you have the time for it. It's an easy process, and we need volunteers.
When will that begin?
Excuse me?
When will that begin?
Right now, we're looking to see if we can start next week if we get the vehicle ready.
So that's a sheriff's department program, it's not HOA sponsored or anything. So anyone, resident, tenant, owner, anyone can volunteer. It just has to go through the process of getting the background checks and everything from the sheriff's department. Doesn't cost you anything, and the more people we have, the more the car will be rolling around.
And they give you a uniform, and all that, so.
All right, social committee. So we're having our second annual Halloween trunk or treat event, coming up on Halloween Day, it's Tuesday. It's gonna be between 6 and 8. We would like, if anyone wants to volunteer, to give candy from their car trunk. We're planning to park cars in the lot that's near Camino Real South, on the grass there, facing the sidewalk so that the kids kind of stay out of the street. Last year we had to do it in the street and it was kind of a little more difficult, so we're trying to put it kind of aside. Right now, I think we have maybe 6 cars volunteer, we can use more. It's just 2 hours. If you're gonna volunteer with your car, we want you to come earlier, come before 6 so that we can get the cars in and everybody can be ready to give candy by 6. And we'll stay 6 to 8, but if we still get a lot of traffic, we might stay a little longer. But that's how that works. If anybody has any questions, reach out to me or to the social committee email. And we'll be happy to answer any questions. The next weekend after Halloween, which I think is November 3rd, is it? Or
4, I think.
it's the Saturday after Halloween. We're having the second semi-annual garage sale.
The 4th.
The 4th, November 4th will be the garage sale. Basically, if you want to sell anything, that's the time to do it. You can put everything outside in front of your house. Starts at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Those are the official HOA hours. If you want to stay a little longer, that's on you. But that's what we're proposing. And we've had several people that have proposed doing it later. And I think that maybe for the future we can consider that, or adding it on a Sunday. Now, I wanted to bring that up because our documents say 2 sales a year. If we do it on 2 separate days, would that just kill second sale, or? That's kind of open for interpretation, see that it's not really clear.
Well, that will depend. How do you define a set? Is it 1 day or is it 1 event?
Correct.
Because the event could take place in 2
In 2
But it
days.
says days, right? Doesn't it say days? But
It
anyway,
says days.
But we can figure
says
that
days
out.
or days.
I think it just says twice a year.
Yeah, twice a year,
Okay,
yeah,
so,
that's it.
so then we shouldn't have a problem.
Well, let us know, Council, if you find it.
So we can
The
build.
section about garage sales?
Oh, yeah.
I'll look.
But anyway, if we are able to do it without compromising giving up one of them, because I think I like the idea of doing it twice a year, because it gives more people more time to do it. And the one in November, I think, is the best one because the weather's there. And my experience from the first garage sale is that people show up early. 9 a.m. might actually be too late. I mean, I was setting up at 8:30 and people were like, are you open? Are you open? Are you open? The other thing I noticed this year too is Cerebella is having their garage sale this weekend. So maybe we can reach out to Cerebella at one point, maybe do it on the same day that they do it. So then we'll get more customers coming through. But it's a very interesting thing how there's a big following of garage sales, and I honestly didn't think it was going to be as successful as it was the first time around. And I got rid of a lot of stuff that's just been sitting in my garage I've never used in the last 2-3 years. and I'm glad that somebody else got to benefit from it. So, we're also planning for the Christmas party. It'll be our first annual BSO HOA Christmas party. We don't have anything concrete yet, but we're looking for suggestions. We need volunteers, we need donations, and all that good stuff. So if you're in the holiday spirit, let us know if you want to help us out in any way, and or you have any ideas of what we should do, then we'll go from there. That's all I got for that. All right, we're moving on to the old business, construction defect lawsuit. I believe that that's moving forward. We should be hearing from the attorney at some point regarding the vote that we spoke about, that only 75% of the community support that lawsuit, just because of the magnitude of the lawsuit. But, you know, it's no risk to the HOA or its members. If they don't win, we don't pay. And if they win, then everybody, they actually take a nice portion of it because they put up their money. So, you know, it kind of works the same way with kind of like personal injury. It's the same kind of concept, it's called contingency. So as soon as we know when the vote's going to happen, we'll let you know. And stay educated about it so that, you know, we can get that going. Because the sooner we can do that, and this goes with the town homeowners, the sooner we can get this lawsuit on the road, the sooner it gets resolved, the sooner you guys can probably start paying less than you're paying now. I know that's been a big thing that people have approached me about, is that how much the townhomes are paying, but the majority of the money the townhomes pay extra goes to their reserves for the repairs. And it's not money that we arbitrarily came up with. There's a reserve study that's dictating how much money needs to be collected every year, and every year it goes up. So what we're hoping is that when the lawsuit materializes and the repairs are made, we can go back and do another reserve study that will lower that cost for the town homeowners, and then hopefully your assessments will drop drastically. Mm-hmm. So that's the plan. Right now, we can't do anything about what's already there, but as soon as we can change that, I think that's something that we all support.
A garage sale that's authorized by the board of directors doesn't count against their.
Oh, good. That's even better, so it doesn't count. So they can still have 2 garage sales on their own, in addition to the ones that we're doing.
Gotcha.
So that's good, so maybe we can do that next year.
So that's
So
something
we
that.
start in March, maybe the garage sales can be on Saturday.
So that's a.
Yeah, if the neighborhood coordinates a garage sale, then it would count under this section, which says unless expressly authorized by.
Okay.
So if we're organizing it, we're authorizing it, so it doesn't count against their ability to have a garage sale.
Okay, so each homeowner can have their own twice a year.
In addition to the ones we're doing.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Somebody asked me that.
Yeah.
Homeowners asked me if they could do their own, and I wasn't sure,
So that's good.
No, it's they can have one garage sale that doesn't exceed 2 days once a year.
Oh, it's one garage sale.
One garage sale that can be 2 days once a year. They're allowed to do that without violating.
So they can't split the days?
I think it says 2 consecutive days.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it says garage sales not exceeding 2 consecutive days in duration will not consider a business trade within the meaning of Paris, so long as the owner operates.
It's once a year.
Do not hold, sponsor, or participate in more than one such sale within a 12-month period. So you can do one garage sale a year that can last up to 2 consecutive days.
All right, thank you for clarifying that. Good. All right, so anything else on the construction defect lawsuit that you mentioned? No? All right. Handyman repairs. So I don't know if anybody was aware, but somebody crashed into a bench and a garbage can on this side of the park that belongs to the HOA, and they ran off, so we don't know who did it. They were sitting there for a while. I felt like, you know, it's an eyesore, also a potential projectile if we get a wind or a storm or something. So I had the handyman basically pick it up and get rid of it. But we also have a proposal to replace them, and we choose to replace them. I don't know what the feeling of the board is, and, you know, but it's up for discussion. Should we replace the bench? Should we replace the garbage can that was there? Should we do something else there? I thought it was in a good position that when people are walking, they kind of sit down in the shade. And
Well, I saw people utilizing it as the one across, but across the CDD, but that one on the HOA, I saw people using it. I will say to put it back how it was.
So we don't have too many places to see
Yeah.
when we walk around or jog or whatever. So those two are, and the one here by the playground, are probably the only three we have, as far as I remember. So, yes, I'm saying.
I think at this point, we need to hold off on spending any more money to make sure that we can cover any costs that we have to do with this payment for the kid piece. I think that we need to just stop this spending of anything extra, until we can make sure that we're gonna make that payment, and then I'd be happy to revisit something like this.
Okay.
I know he did,
So we can
Remove it.
revise back in February.
which is good, so let's get him paid for the removal, and just, I haven't been out there, did we get the hole, I know there's some holes and depressions, did we get that fixed?
no, that was what I was gonna bring up, because I didn't get him to fix that because I helped put one in. But where the concrete anchors were for the bench, since the whole concrete thing came up, there's holes there now. If we could at least get it kind of smoothed out, unless you guys wanna volunteer. I volunteer to go out there with a backhoe and something, we just do it, you know what I'm saying, we just get it done.
I'll take a look at it.
I think it takes 10 minutes to do, to be honest with you, I don't think we should pay for it.
I think with
If
volunteer.
anybody wants to help me, we'll figure out the day. But what to get at, there's also some pallets that were left in that land, by the people that did the construction for Toho, when they replaced the sod, they left about 3 or 4 pallets stacked up behind the tree there. So I think I'll just pick them up and get rid of them, unless somebody needs pallets, you're welcome to go get them. But otherwise, when I have
Saturday.
time, I'll just go pick them up and get them out of there, because they're an eyesore as well. Aside from that, the handyman, I heard cannot, fix second floor items. And there's been a shutter that's down on VO Terra now for at least 2-3 months that I've asked to get somebody to repair it. I was supposed to give a proposal, and I don't think it ever happened. So if we can get somebody to replace that shutter as soon as possible, it's just laying on top of the bushes in front of that townhouse.
So- 3146.
44, 46, yes.
Yeah, between 44 to
46.
46 Via Otero, 3146 Via Otero. It's close by there, I think it's 46, but it's on, oh, you gotta see it.
You'll see it, it's in the front. It's the end unit.
And it's laying on the bushes?
It's laying on the bushes, the shutter, yeah. It fell down from the second floor.
Yes?
I have a question for lakes. Who's responsible for taking care of lakes? Because in my backyard, there is a lake and we have a lot of mosquito there. So we need a spray. Is it a responsibility for HOA or CBD?
The CDD takes care of most of the lakes, but where are you located at?
31, 35 HOA.
Riachuelo.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lake that is owned by the county now, but it's
No,
this
it's
way.
that one.
So that should be the CDD taking care of that.
Because we have a lot of mosquito, you know. Even though we walk in the street, goes away, and on the sidewalks, a lot of mosquito.
Oh, yeah, the mosquito is gonna be, yeah, the mosquito is something that is all over, I don't think,
And mosquito is bigger than.
yeah, I know.
It is big.
I've seen the county spraying our
Yeah.
community in the
Yes,
last couple months. I've seen them at least twice.
They come at night, usually, late at night, like
They
2
get like
a.m. in the
weird
morning,
noise.
1,
It's
2.
very hard to go backyard, you know, it's a lot of mosquito, we cannot go back.
I would suggest to go to BSOCDD.org. In there is the manager's information, so you can send your concern to the CDD.
Yeah, all lakes are CDD, and I believe the CDD pays for those lakes to be maintained, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right,
Research study?
reserve study, I think we in the north there, you guys got to take a look at that?
But that's something that we need to work on the next budget.
So I was gonna bring that up, our budget is set for 2024, so we're gonna have to try to figure out how we can implement the deficit we're gonna incur from 2024 to 2025. So that, you know,
We can
But
put,
basically, they came and evaluated all of Sangria and Menorca, and as well as the mailboxes. We do have some reserved for the mailboxes already, but starting 2025, we're gonna create a pool budget, reserve so that we can make sure we have money, to cover the streets repairs and anything else that may come about in that area. So we're gonna post this on the website. Anybody's welcome to take a look at it, so you can get an idea of what things will be costing and what the projections are. And, we're not gonna make the change now because the budget's already done for 2024, because they did recommend that we collect, how much was it? That 20-something thousand, right?
27,700.
Yeah, they wanted us to collect 23.
23,650
this year, and then it's incrementally going up every year. But I think with the whole cable situation, I think we're gonna be fine with funding this, and it hopefully won't have any impact on our assessments at all. But, that's what I have on that. Anybody have any questions on that, any comments?
So, I thought that was a draft, those are not the final, right?
It's draft now, yeah, but,
So the numbers are estimated now?
so how does that work? Is that,
They're estimated numbers, again.
so they're gonna come out?
Reserve numbers, they're estimated numbers of what the current price is. So even as the years go by, everything goes up, just as a heads up. So this is a draft for you guys, it covers a whole bunch of different items that we told them that we wanted to cover, so it's up to you if you guys want to call those covered or not. So there's different line items like sideways gutters,
I did see something on here that doesn't need to be covered.
correct, and that's why it's the draft. So you look at it, and if it doesn't pertain to this particular association, you tell them to remove it, that will adjust the numbers.
Okay, so that would.
But let me ask you this, these numbers are based on the current situation? Okay, so they came, they took a look, okay.
They
Plus,
took the
whatever
pictures and
it
everything for it. They came, they inspected, took pictures, and then they looked into the vendors that are used for maintenance and repairs for these particular items. Then they reach out to them and see exactly what the current cost is. Let's say if it's, for the one street, what's the cost if we have to do that whole street? Then they take that into consideration. How long will that street be good before it needs to be done again? Let's say it's the estimated life expectancy 15 years. Then they divide that whole into 15 years, and then it's everybody else. Or how many homes you have per year.
Yeah,
They didn't account for inflation or anything else?
They do.
They do every year.
That's why it goes up.
Yeah.
That's why it goes up. But keep in mind, this is just an average estimate, because there's not a set in stone
Correct.
number. I can be a vendor, and you can be a vendor, we have two totally different prices. So it's an average price of what it's gonna cost right now, as of today. But again, inflation does go up on a year-to-year basis, so you guys have that consideration.
but they do mention in their report that, they're kind of like, they're overshooting a little bit, but not too much. So that they be comfortable. But yeah, there is some items on here that I looked at that don't really apply, like the stormwater systems, we don't maintain those, we don't own those. The backflow preventer, that's a Toho issue also, and, the street lights, that's
Yep.
CBD. So, so we'll go through this, everybody go through it and kind of figure out.
Yeah, send an email.
What should be excluded, and, I think that will adjust the numbers more accurately.
Yeah.
We got time for it.
Or the mailboxes? Ours or the?
The what?
The mailboxes.
Mailboxes are ours, yeah.
Those ones are ours.
Yeah, the ones by the townhomes are not, they're CBD.
Yeah, this one's.
Yeah,
Those are the
yeah,
Sangria ones.
sangria.
That's Sangria.
Oh,
The houses.
right, yeah.
Just
So
to
then you guys
make
can
it more.
discuss amongst yourself, and then Mario, you reply back to do it, just copy me and say, hey, can you please have them remove this, this. We'll send it back to the vendor, they'll update it, and then they'll provide us the correct updated draft.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay. All right, so new business, we have an irrigation, so we have gotten a proposal from, Blade Runners regarding, there's some townhome buildings that are missing irrigation, and that's why the grass doesn't grow there. And we kind of did that when we were assessing all that, and Blade Runners have given us quite a big number for it, so we decided to also quote it through JO Sprinklers, who's our new irrigation company. and they actually came in at a very comfortable price. And I think, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at the estimate.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of a necessity in order to, we also have some grass that Blade Runners has committed to giving us to replace the grass in that area, as long as we can put the irrigation in. So I think that we should consider approving this draft. I'm trying to look for the proposal here.
It almost seems like you should wait to see how much money you get in for this cable thing, because you're not gonna get 100%.
That's true.
You may only get 40%, and you gotta come up with the rest. So, right now, it should be a freeze on everything until February, when you pay this lady.
Aren't we also going out of grass season? I think putting the sod down is like.
But remember, this money is coming from their
We're
pocket.
not paying for grass, we're paying for the sprinklers.
And the sprinkler is coming from their
Right.
repair already budgeted amount, like from the townhouses.
Yeah, we want to-
Okay, let's
yeah.
also pay the fall, pay this lady.
Yep.
And if we don't have the money.
No, correct.
Budget shot to hell anyways.
Yeah, if we don't get the money, then yeah.
In all fairness, I don't think we can use money that's allocated for other things to pay the lady.
Yeah.
So if people don't pay, don't have the money, then you just can't buy the contract.
Yeah,
But then you're gonna have to raise, assessments again.
correct. We have to we need to amend. Yeah, we have to amend the budget.
Well, we know that dry season, starting dry season, they could wait till February to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I think we're at the end of the new sod down season, so, and maybe we work a timeline backward, like when is it good to start putting sod down again? And then work backwards, because in order to put the sprinklers down, they're gonna dig up the hole.
Correct.
They're gonna dig trenches and do their work in it. But then we're gonna leave all this mess, because it's not a good time to put down sod. And, there's a risk that if it goes down, it dies, be a cold snap or something like that. I wonder what Juan would say, the landscaper would say, like a good time to start doing that is, and then let's try to work the timeline backwards so that they can work congruently with.
So-
I'm okay with waiting until whatever day Blade Runner says about the sod, but I don't think that should impact putting the sprinkler system in. Because there's grass there now that needs to be watered anyway, like you said, we're going into the dry season.
Yeah, but it's all gonna come out. You're not gonna put
We're
grass.
not gonna rip all the grass out, they're gonna do small trenches to put the pipes in.
Yeah, but when the new grass side goes down, they're just gonna put the stuff on top of stuff.
Well, that's on the areas that need the
Not to do the
grass.
sod now.
Right,
So that's what I'm saying, put the sprinklers in, so that they're already in, by the time the season to put the sod on is, you got sprinklers.
but now you're also paying to water weeds, because the sod isn't there, right?
Well, it's better than having dead grass. It's up to
We
you
can,
guys.
we
I like the
can,
price, don't get me wrong.
If I get a motion,
So we-
second, we
so-
vote, if not, then we table it.
what we can do is just approve on contingency on the time and see if it's,
What do you like contingency at the time?
well, the time of the sod and all that, or I don't know. Just
So
to,
if Blade Runner says the sod goes down in March, when are we doing the sprinklers? That's the question.
right now, the area that is not getting any water at all, right?
that's
And then
the
we
point.
come in
The
now-
dry season's coming, right now there's
Yeah.
grass because it's been raining. But as soon as now that it stops raining, that's gonna die, and then what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna say, Blade Runner's not doing the right job, they're killing the grass. And that's the catch-22 in this.
And the thing is, we need to make sure the townhouses are well taken care of, What do you think that you live in townhomes? What is your point of view?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think that the townhomes are the ones that we use. I use the least landscaping services. Probably Villa Palma are the ones that use the most because we're the ones with the backyard. Everybody else, I mean, Riachuelo.
Yeah, this one isn't Biotero.
This is the front of the townhouse.
Yeah, but we're talking about maybe 2 square feet.
It's for
No, it's for buildings.
And then this quote also involves moving some sprinklers that are not in appropriate places on Camino around north. So,
So it's for building that is not getting.
I don't know, I support doing the work now. We can do the stock whenever anybody wants to do it, that's fine. But I think we should put the sprinklers in, so if I can get a motion, let's move forward, if not, we'll table it.
What is the total?
It's,
Jose,
3,600.
what do you think?
Remember, this doesn't come out of the general fund either, this comes out of the townhomes
Repair the irrigation.
irrigation budget, so it's not coming out of money we can use for the cable buy.
So what is the total?
3,600.
Because I was looking at here.
It's 3,600.
36.
36 even?
Yes, from jail sprinklers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know Blake was like 9,000 or so. So I made the motion, for, okay, right
So
here.
I think that there's a lot of issues with sprinkles in townhomes. I don't know if this will address all of them, but
Well, here, look, all the buildings.
Like what issues you talking about?
like I've seen sprinkling water directly to the doors.
And that's what the new company is fixing.
And that water is wasted.
Correct.
Correct.
Those kind of things that, and nobody knows that because, I noticed it this week. I woke up at 3 a.m. for another reason and I noticed sprinkling water directly to the door entry.
In your house?
In my house and my neighbor's house too.
I had a fix on mine in my area.
And yours too, okay.
I have done it. It's not so fixed.
And we don't know that because most of us have been
Well,
sleeping at it.
Well, these guys are expecting the sprinklers every month at the townhouses. If you see something though, there's also an irrigation work order that you can submit and have them look at it.
Yeah.
Because, in all jobs, there's gonna be people that do a really great job, and some of them, I said, I might not look at that. And if you report it, it's on paper, and then they'll fix it.
Somebody live here in Villatero, like on the main road, going through.
Yeah, she does that, I think so, I talked to you before, right, in front of your house?
So I think your house doesn't have irrigation, right?
Yeah. So, I think the budget's there, it's allocated for that, and it should be right.
See, what's the budget for, what do we have for this left this year on the budget?
So you said this.
They're doing a good job, but they just started this month.
This is the new company, yeah? And the
Have you looked
report,
at the inspection report?
the report is so detailed.
Look at it,
Like,
it's super detailed. I haven't had time to look at all of it.
I start looking at it, but it's way too detailed.
Okay, so,
But this is a different thing.
no, yeah.
This is different, this is what they got an inspection report, we're doing that one now.
Yeah.
So this is all this is many units. And you can tell, because you can see where the water is and where it's not. So hold on, sorry.
Let's do it. Honestly, I think
Let's see the budget, right, because it's going to hit this fiscal year, and it's not going to hit next fiscal year, right? We haven't changed fiscal years yet. So let's see where we have
Everything
left over.
repairs from the town.
Mm-hmm.
Right, from the townhomes only.
There's going to be individual homes.
Sorry, guys.
No, take your time.
Let me see.
I don't see they have budgeted anything for irrigation repairs,
because it was part of the landscaping.
No, actually, they had a budget, I've seen it before, I'm looking at this report, I've seen it in this report.
Yeah, we have.
No, the houses don't have the budgets, the houses are not covered for any repairs, just inspections. That's all they do for the houses, the townhomes get everything covered. But I know I've seen a line item for the,
Yeah, it used to be.
irrigation repair and maintenance. This report is so different from what we used to see.
Yeah, the repair this.
Do we have previous dimensions?
I know for sure it was, let me see if I think I got the, where is the townhomes, irrigation, repairs.
Irrigation repairs, yes, nothing was actually budgeted. What you actually spent was $7,947, but nothing was actually budgeted for 2023.
For this.
Can't be.
Because we have
There's a
the,
line item because you guys have spent stuff.
Mhm.
However, nothing was ever actually budgeted for.
because I think that's something that, because I saw the draft that we did, it was supposed to have 3,000 on it.
But you remember, we haven't hit next year's budget.
No, this is 2023.
It's still
Yeah.
2023.
Correct.
When we did the draft and everything, the irrigation repair, we put there 3,000.
Because I'm looking at August's numbers and I'm seeing the same thing with September.
Because that's then is
August.
landscaping enhancement. How much we got in landscaping
Yeah,
enhancement?
that's what we use,
Yep.
the budget for landscaping enhancement.
So you do have a budget for that. We budgeted 7,500 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
You spent 29,200.
Oh, that's the trees.
But that was, yes.
Yeah, that was the trees and all
That was
that.
that huge product that you guys had.
So the general repairs now.
So if we approve this, where this money is coming from, realistically speaking?
It's not enough to use reserves, right, Chris?
Sorry, I was researching something else for reserves, but
Using reserves to fix irrigation, to replace.
Do you have an irrigation line in your pool light? That's the question.
I mean, it's a repair of a capital item. I mean, it's typically something that's pulled out of operating, but, I mean, you could.
And the general repairs.
Yeah.
We can take it for the regular general repairs or not?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because they got a line item, general repairs and maintenance. That's general.
The point
Do we have money left
Yeah,
there?
On the
also
general
over
repair.
on
On the general repair.
You guys have a general exterior repair and maintenance now. You budgeted 17,000. You actually only spent $4,000.
Yeah.
So you have a variance of 8,130 as of now.
Is there a line item that is more applicable?
It would have been the irrigation repairs town.
Okay.
That was at zero budgeted.
We haven't put anything in there?
No.
Oops. Well, yeah, I mean, you can pull it out of it. Look, a budget, by the way, is just a guideline, right? It's
Do we
not,
have a miscellaneous line?
No, not the
the law doesn't require you to strictly adhere to the budget. The point is to give people an idea
Of
how you're
where,
allocating your resources, right? So if you need to pull from one line item and drop it into another, you're allowed to do that.
But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're not just spending money to spend.
Well, that's
Correct.
true. Yeah, the idea is not to cook the books, it's just to,
Right. I want to make sure that we have planned for some of this before we go spend it all.
Well,
so,
and the thing about this as well is even if you pull it like this says, next year you have a better, an open eye to see exactly like how much you should be allocating for different line items. So to say that I spend this, now granted, you're not going to be putting in new irrigation in these different buildings or around the area, but it gives you something to play with and say, maybe we should allocate a specific amount for that particular line. Okay?
Okay. We good? So I do a motion to approve to add the new irrigation system on Villa Otero from J.L. Sprinkle for 3,600.
Anybody second?
I second.
Second by Jose. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say. Is that it?
Yeah, he say aye, yeah, and the yes.
You voted?
against it.
We got one mayor
And 4
and 48. All right, I have another proposal from jail sprinklers. This is, as a result of, town homeowner putting in a work order. And this is at 3126 Camino Route North. They came and checked and they're saying that it needs a new irrigation controller. They gotta replace the wire, I guess, because she said that they somehow got transected or it was super, I don't know. So the question is Blade Runners cut that or didn't cut that, or how do we know that, right?
They say the cable is
It was just placed in the wrong spot.
above ground. It's supposed to be on the ground.
Above ground, okay. So, and then there's 6-inch sprinkler heads, 4 sprinkler heads, no, a zone
Yeah.
of a 6-inch sprinkler head that's missing. And then there's another 3 sprinkler heads in another zone. So this is a proposal of $525.
And does include the 250 or no?
No, this is outside of the 250, I believe. Remember?
Yeah.
Whenever, so every month we pay a certain amount for the inspection, and any repair that's under 250, they just take care of it. But when they submit a proposal, it's because it's above the 250, so this has to be considered separate.
Okay, so they don't subtract the 250 from there? That's what I'm saying.
Can I ask that?
No, I'm just
I'm
saying.
supposing that they did whatever work they had to do, and this was additional work that needs to be done. That's what I'm assuming, but we could get management to verify it. That they already spent the 250 for this month, that's why they wanted to charge that. But, you know, this comes, like I said, from a work order from a homeowner, and this is the homeowner that had water intrusion in her house and had a lot of problems. So I think that it should be considered.
I mean, if there's an issue like that.
Yeah.
Right, so make a motion to approve that.
Herman, do you remember how much the controllers cost off the top of your head?
Those
The
range,
6-zone controllers are about
I think-
130, if we buy them on Amazon. But
Yeah.
the irrigation people don't sell it for that much. They have a markup on it, I believe.
I would imagine, right there.
And then they charge installation too, so.
correct. Yeah, they can go between $87 to, yeah, 105, depend how many zones we
Right. Because I know they're expensive, I'm just trying to put that in perspective in terms of how much they're asking for.
Usually, I think what they charge in there is more the labor, because they charge, I think, it's $45 an hour.
Yeah, they're typically working on that too.
Yep.
So, motion? No motion.
Yeah, he was doing it.
I did a motion.
Nobody wants a motion on this?
I did a motion.
Oh, you did a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said I did a motion.
I did a motion before. Nobody said anything. Nobody seconded it.
So Marcelo made a motion to approve the jail sprinkler, $525 at 3126 Camino Route. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Second by Herman. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Unanimous.
Where is?
All right, let's get back to the traffic there. What else we got left here?
Yeah, the mulch.
This is. Right?
Yeah, but
Parece
So the mulch, let's talk about the mulch. So at the last meeting, there was a lot of people here, nobody raised their hand that they want mulch. This meeting, anybody here wants mulch every year? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, okay, we got some. So, and I done some research on it, and there's a lot of research that says that mulch is good for our soil. And when it degrades, it nurtures our soil. So I think You know, and there's a lot of negativity about rubber and rock and all these things that we had discussed at some point in the past. So I don't know. I really don't like the price. The mulch has gone up. I think we paid what, like, well, yes, last year we paid this much, but his quote for last year was a lot less. This quote is over $6,000 more.
It was 26 last year.
No, we bought it from American Mulch.
24, correct. And his it was 20 something.
No, his was 18. You pull the contract.
18 plus the townhouse is what, $8,000.
So it went up 4,000 or something.
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
Yeah, check it.
But anyway, $27,000 a year. So do you guys want to approve that?
Well, we have to.
Is that the only one we have?
Yep, that's the only one we have.
And going back to the, what is
So
it?
last time we used American Mulch, which is the one that Bradley was using, a lot of people complained that they were blowing holes and cause a lot of coloration of the paint and everything. The only benefit of Blade Runners is that they manually install it. So they basically will get, 100 yards delivered every day, and they'll track it down to each section and install it manually versus blowing it in. So to me, it makes no difference. The money's the same, the cost is the same either way.
Mine, they
So-
would wash out with the rain. I get a lot of rain, it all gone.
So last year was 18,450 for the single family and 7,875 for townhouses. So it was around $26,000.
So it's the same price?
I don't know, I mean, I don't have an opinion on this, other than that, it looks good for like 2 or 3 months, and then,
I agree with you, and I think that has to do with the fact that we're putting red mulch in, and the discolorates a lot quicker.
I would prefer the little brownish.
I think we should, that's what I would suggest, is that we consider like mini pine bark, but it's a brown color, a dark brown color,
So that's for next year.
but I think it will hold better.
But for next year or now, we will change it.
Well, they already ordered it.
No, I'm just saying because the input of the community. Because imagine we decide something that, we've been doing reds all the time and then change it out of the blue for brown, and then people is gonna be like, why you change it? I don't know.
oh, you think we should?
Like to do a survey first. I don't know, I'm just saying. Or you can do,
So let's do a motion to approve it, pending a survey, what color we're gonna get, is that what you're saying?
no, I'm saying that the survey is for next year, not this year.
So you said this year put it red.
That's what I will, that's the color that we've been putting.
Well, that's the color that was chosen for us.
I would like.
I know, I've never been asked what color I want.
I would like the brown one, yeah. If we agree and, take the heat and go with the brown, I like it.
It's up to you guys to decide.
No, you too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll support anything that everybody does. I'm easy. So what's the question here? Brown or red?
I would like brown.
Is that a different price?
I don't think so. It's
To
gonna be the same price.
me, the biggest question is which one's going to hold better, in terms of the coloration, and it looks like everybody.
Back up north, and then just like the red. And you got more sun down here than up in New York. And the brown is faded with the
brown.
brown.
So-
You got a lot more sun down.
So why don't we approve the installation of mulch, and we can authorize the landscaping committee to decide what color they're gonna install. And all of us can kind of look into what would be best based on the climate and all that.
Makes sense.
All right, does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Motion to approve mulch pending color decided by the landscaping committee,
I made that motion.
made by Herman, seconded,
I second.
seconded by Jose. All in favor, say aye.
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 None all opposed, say nay, no. Unanimous, motion carries. So when's your next, landscaping meeting? Next week?
Next week.
So make sure that gets taken care of then.
Later, for town.
So what is this the proposal?
It's for building, the first building is missing some hedges, and the owner is complaining that their hedges, right view, I think they took it out, they never put it in, and it's just missing hedges on it. Building one, that's the one.
The one outside the gate?
Yeah.
I'll approve it only if he removes his air conditioner.
I think management is, taking that out.
But, yeah.
But do we have
It was
the,
there before, and then it was removed.
yeah, it was removed
And
because
how much is this gonna cost?
they were looking,
I don't see the proposal.
they didn't print that out.
No, the only proposal I have here is just the regular.
I don't even think it's in the packet.
Yeah.
Not the fact.
No, yeah, I need to see it.
Okay, so here, he sent it on the email to do it, and everybody says $165
$165?
to install 10 gallons, to install 10 3-gallon,
Whatever.
yeah, correct. At $16 each, $60.50.
We have a motion. Any questions or discussion?
I made the motion to approve for for townhouse 2901 Port Other Sol, for $165.
What's the street name?
2901 Puerto Sol. Anybody second?
I'll second.
Second by Jose, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed?
Aye.
All right, passes unanimously. All right,
The last one, you have Del Palm on Villa Palma, 3144 Biotero.
yeah, that's the one that the homeowner complains as well, right?
Correct.
At the last meeting.
Yep,
And how much is that gonna cost?
550. 550. It's a dead one, yeah, on 3144 Biotero.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I tried to quote this for somebody I know that does trees, and the price was exactly the same. I was kind of shocked, it was exactly the same. So,
And that's just get rid of it from
It's just to
the
pull it out, chop it up, and take it away.
Yeah, it says remove, it says, yeah, no, I'm telling you, that's a good business to do.
It's gonna take 20 minutes to do it.
It's all the dump fees.
Yeah.
How much of it is dump fees?
I'm not sure.
Because now we have field here. Most of these.
Yeah, it's word of mouth.
So, how much is dump fees? Do you know? This is
No.
it.
No, it doesn't.
One time it was like $250 or $300 truckload.
Correct, but that parks is gonna be a full truckload, right?
No.
And this is a charge for full truckload for it. So,
Seems like a lot.
so what do you guys think? I mean, should we ask it, should we approve it and ask if we can save
Yeah.
on dump fees?
Correct.
If he chops it up and throws it in the park here around the trees?
Yeah,
Or if that even includes dump fees. If he's gonna go trim.
If he's gonna charge us dump fees for this.
correct.
That may be, if he's doing ponds and they just.
Yeah, so I guess the question to him is, how much of this bill is dump fees? If it's more than $100, I think it's worth time, and don't dump it, just dump it here, and this way.
On the HOA area.
Does that make sense?
How much of the dump fees?
If it's more than $100, then he can just chop it up and throw it in our park here.
The only thing is, I don't know, they come with a chopper or
They
anything.
do.
That's.
Yeah,
I think we'll do it.
Okay.
yeah.
They got a mulcher.
Big old grinder.
Done on site.
Yeah,
In the park, the HOA park,
Okay.
the HOA
on
one.
the left there. He could talk to the landscaping committee to give him a location,
Okay.
to be more specific.
So I make the motion to remove a dead palm from 3144 Villa Palma. It's not Biotero. Yeah, it says here Biotero, but it's Villa Palma.
There was two different ones you asked them for, the tree between the two townhouses, trim it.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah, still, we didn't get no proposal on that yet.
There's two for the trees. two different.
That the
addresses.
proposal included both trees?
Yeah, there's one that's between, it's a hardwood, I guess, it's between, the first two townhouses when you come in. And, I guess it's touching buildings. And I thought he sent us a proposal for both.
Yeah, I need to check that, but this one is only the Via Palma one.
Okay.
3144 Via Palma, but he wrote on the invoice Via Otero, so he need to make sure he go to Via Palma. And then, that's the first building.
That's the palm inside, right?
Yeah, it's a dead one there on the front. So this one is gonna be approved pending management finding out about the dump fees. If it's $100 more, just to dump it on the HOA side.
If it's less than $100, then just go forward with it as it is, because there's no point in arguing that point. That makes sense? All right,
I made the motion.
somebody seconded it already, right?
No.
Who's gonna second it? Second? Corey, second? All in favor, say aye.
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 None opposed, motion carries. All right, the next item is our schedule of meetings for next year. They're all set up for it's the last Thursday, right?
It's the last Thursday, however, I have
Yeah.
5 that we need to make a decision
I
on.
have 2 things here. November 28th is Thanksgiving.
That's the one, one of the ones I have 5 we need to make a decision on because they're in or around holidays. So we can start the top, start the bottom, what do you want to do?
You know, my stance on this is that I think that we should hold the meeting over the holidays. That's my stance.
I think we can schedule it and then cancel.
If you don't really,
But
this is Thanksgiving, is what he's saying, we
Oh.
can alternate day.
Yeah,
And the
so
other one is the day after Christmas. Hence why I like the fourth.
I'm okay with skipping December, but I wouldn't skip 2 months in a row. So I say, let's have the November
So
meeting the week prior to Thanksgiving.
So
and
the
then
21st. 21st for November,
Okay, so that'll be the week prior.
yeah. And then December,
Our alternate would be the week prior, which would be the.
yeah, the 19th, yeah. Just to have it, but I hope we don't need them.
It's easier to cancel than it is
Correct.
to try to renotice.
So you get that? November 21st and December 19th. The rest of them are okay, you said you had 5.
Yeah, I still have 3 more to talk about.
Okay, let's go.
May 23rd is the Thursday before Memorial Day. Are we okay with that one?
I'm okay with it. You guys okay with it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I leave on Fridays.
March 28th is the Thursday before Easter.
So
No,
The alternate would be the 21st, would be the week before.
So you guys.
yeah, I think the 21st.
So March 31st. 21st, I'm sorry.
21st.
So we're adjusting it then November 21st, December 19th, and March 21st, right?
So far. The last one I have is February 22nd, is a Thursday after President's Day.
Depends on which president's in.
No politics here.
Don't see it.
So you can either go early into the 15th or go later into the 29th.
The 29th, wow.
Is it a big deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right, you got 29 days next
So
year.
February 29th.
But, Z, did you get all them or you want me to go through them again?
I got it. February 29th, March 21st, November 21st, and December 19th.
Correct.
Boom.
Do we need a motion to approve this or that's just what it
Do we need to
No,
make
it's
it approve?
just what it is.
It's what it is.
is? Okay.
That way we can have Herman
Then
put the,
wait before you go to your open forum.
I was just gonna say, so Herman can block the calendar
Okay.
for next year.
We did.
Okay.
No, we did the agenda, but we didn't open forum.
And we did the open for the open
Yeah.
agenda, right?
Yeah, that's what we need to do from the beginning, yeah. We need to do it from the beginning, the open forum and all, yeah.
Organization, please.
Oh, yeah, right.
That is
That's
the
what it is.
last item on the agenda right now.
Now, my understanding in previous experience that I've had is that organizational meetings don't have to be held or a regular meeting.
An organizational meeting is actually a board meeting. Well, it's a board meeting, you're just doing the organization of the
Right.
board members. So you're gonna discuss amongst yourself who's gonna be what.
Yeah.
So we need to have everybody, right?
The only issue I have with that is missing two board members.
Yeah.
So you can schedule it as a board meeting.
Yeah, you
And
can.
do it a different day.
And actually, you're allowed to rework your officers anytime during the year.
The
So,
only thing is you have to do it within 10 business days.
so if you want to set it up now, you can literally change it next week if you want to.
So we can do it virtually, right?
What's that?
Virtually.
Virtual, yes.
Virtually, yeah, as long as it's noticed. That's
You
fine.
guys can do it virtual, set up the time, make that the only item on the agenda, that way it's.
With Bill there.
Easy, and that is it.
I mean, you could do a motion, just keep them the same right now, and then decide to change your mind next month. As long as the majority of the board members vote to change the officers,
Correct.
you're allowed to restructure your officers whenever you want. So,
Any comments, questions?
What do you think?
I think it's all 10 counties, so whatever.
Yeah, I just think in all fairness, I'd rather have a full board, because,
Mhm.
I mean, then people have to abstain from voting, and it's gonna be kind of a prolonged process, so, I mean,
well, then just do a motion to keep things the way they
so let's
are.
keep things the way they are, and then we can do it next meeting, how's that? If we want to change it.
That way you've
Correct,
got-
yeah.
That way you've got meeting minutes that satisfy your requirement, and then next month, whenever
Okay.
you want.
So can we do a motion for that?
So I make a motion just to keep the directors as it is.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
Who was that, part?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Passes unanimously. All right, anything else, manager? We should take care of? So, anybody else? No? All right, we'll pass it on to the homeowners then. Open forum, any issues you guys want to talk about that we haven't addressed in the meeting? Yes, sir.
I wasn't clear about the trash first of all. Maybe you can refresh my memory again.
Yes.
Because you did say you want to talk about it later.
This is the time, right now.
Okay. And secondly, I submitted a work order for the bricks
Paper.
in front of my step. And the sort time happened to me. And I think it's a safety issue, first of all, because I have a visitor came to my house, almost fell. And this past Monday, I thought it was the rain, basically. The rain was taking the roof. But it's not the rain. It's the guys that cut the grass, they got the big tractor.
Mhm.
And I got this little area. When they turn around, they hit the corner, the steps, and they all come loose. I just happened to see that Monday, you know, and they do the same thing to the next door neighbor. They hit the, because, you know, the steps are a little higher.
Correct.
You know, so when he turns around, he bumps his machine into the steps. And that's how they become loose all the time.
And the machine goes like that?
It's a big machine.
No, but I know it goes up on the hill, so that's something that we need to talk about.
I don't like them writing that on there, because it's a small spot.
They're supposed to do
They
it.
should have a push mower
Or the weed eater.
That's why I didn't say nothing to them, just wrong with them.
Yeah.
Put him back in place for the.
So, okay, so I think, Z, we need to get, the handyman to give a proposal on repair, because I was under the impression all these bricks have been fixed, so I guess this just happened. And also, we need to talk to blade burners.
Okay, the last time the guy came in and fixed him, I don't know what he used, but about third day, he came in, the cement that he used, it went all over the place.
Really?
It was not cement, it was toothpaste or whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't work very
I don't know
well.
what he, honestly, you see a giant bunch of holes and it disappears.
So, yeah, so let's get clarity on what he's using to replace, to fix these pavers, the handyman.
I need to know address.
It's in the work order, 2904, via the stand way. It's in the work order, I think it was about 2 or 3, now it's about 4 or 5.
2904 Via Sesame fixed papers.
Yeah.
At the end.
And once you get the proposal, check with blade runners and see if they'll fix it or they will cover what it's gonna cost to fix it.
Correct, because they hit them, so,
Yeah.
and then the owner saw them.
And the house next door to you that has the same problem, what address is that?
It's got,
O2?
it's about 4 or 5 steps. I mean, bricks.
Is it 02 or 06?
6.
06, 2906.
Have you reached out to blade runners directly, the work order to blade runners?
No, I know.
No, he said the general work order for us.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't know.
just noticed that it's one day, when the guy hits the bricks. But I submitted that work order about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll check with Boone on that. Also, you can do both, because even if it's not landscaping, they're the ones that damage it, they need to know as well, as soon as possible. Because they will send somebody out there to go inspect. The sooner you do it, the better, because if we wait.
So you're going to do that on the work order?
Yeah, but
Under
landscape,
Under landscaping. Yeah, just copy and paste it, copy and paste the same work order you already did. So
And that's just going forward too, because again, the landscaper work order will direct you to that, they'll automatically send something, to somebody, because if they're doing the damage, then they need to repair it.
Correct.
I agree.
Make sure.
I'm sure that's paying, I'm not.
So let's talk about trash cans and the alleyways and the townhomes. So I think I mentioned something about this earlier, but basically all the townhomes are created equal. Some of the townhomes have garages in the front, some of them have it in the back, and.
Some don't have alley.
And some don't have alleys. So I think, the intent of the document, and legal can chime in and either confirm or deny what I'm saying, is that the intent of the rule is to stop people from putting garbage cans where it can be seen from the street. And, I think that is the intent of the rule. Now, the question is the alleyway considered a street? It doesn't have a name. I don't consider it a street. To me, it's more like a driveway for all those buildings that are there. So this issue has come up because a lot of town owners have complained that a lot of other owners or residents are just leaving the trash cans in the middle of the alleyway and they're not putting it away. So I think this is the intent that management had of trying to fix this, but they were using the rule that's in place. And I think for all intents and purposes and practicality, it doesn't apply to these people because they have no other place to put their garbage cans.
correct?
And
Let me tell you something.
yes,
I'm one of those guys that like to, you guys know I was in the Army for 30 years, and I like neatness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired. When the trash man comes, I go over there and put everybody's trash back where it's supposed to be. I do that for about 5 neighbors, five people around the house. And mine, I always have it neat next to the garage. I even got bricks and everything that was real nice. And honestly, I sent a letter, I called somebody and she said, well, write an email to whoever. And they were, I just told him, I just need somebody to tell me a suggestion where I'm gonna place it. I was willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they just sent an email back to say, this is the rule, you will go by.
gotcha,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. And I understand, and what you're doing is the right thing. Like I told some of the owners that are complaining about it, yeah, bring it here. Because, we can be the ones to kind of help with the interpretation of the rules to make it more practical. My personal opinion is that that's an alleyway, that's the rear of their house.
Yep.
And I think they don't have a place to put it other than inside the garage or inside their patio, which I think it's not a real good place to put it because it's kind of living space, even though it's exterior space, it's still living space. So in my opinion, I think that for these particular townhomes that have alleyways, as long as their garbage can is against their property, I don't care where they put it, in my opinion, whether it's in the garage, whether it's in the driveway, the side, whatever.
Correct. For me, you have to look clean. I saw a lot of sometimes owners, they just throw them, leave them there while others are organized, looking neat. So, so those are, the ones that I will send the letter or,
So, the rule is there. I don't think it should apply to you guys. So the question is, how do we resolve this in the meantime? I mean, I think once we create new rules, we can make it clearer of how it applies to these particular properties. But right now, what do we do?
So one more thing to add to what you said. You mentioned those townhomes that have alleys, right? We should also consider townhomes that don't have alleys. All the townhomes in Villa Palma, we don't have alleys, and we also have a garage in front of the house. So there's only one place for the trash can, which is in front of the house. There's no way those trash cans won't be visible from the street unless I put it inside my garage, which we happen to have space for only one car in our garages, right? Which means I have to leave my car outside, which I can't because now I can't park in the street. So we need to think about what we do with the Via Palma townhomes because those are.
And the other option is to put it where the entrance is, but then you are walking into your house with the trash can in there, so that looks bad. Yeah.
There is a vast difference between Via Palma and the houses that we're talking about.
All right.
Because their garbage cans are in the back.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I hate to say this, because it sounds bad, but I think your garbage can should be in the back. You guys don't have to walk into the front when it's garbage day. Because I think it shouldn't be visible from the street.
I absolutely disagree because
I disagree.
if you're in the middle of the buildings, that means that you have to walk out, go all around the building, get into the
because
back,
of the middle ones, they don't
grab
have.
the trash can through the grass, and if it's raining and it's all
That's what I did.
muddy and all that. So I think it's a very easy thing to say, sorry, Mario, it's a very easy thing to say, but I don't think it's right.
I'm just telling you that.
Unless
You want to bend the rules.
unless you guys in the CBD change the rule of parking, and then we can park in the streets and put the trash cans inside the garage, which should be the right thing to do if you don't want the trash cans facing the streets.
Yeah, no, in those areas, the only solution is the HOA have to put some hedges or some fence for the trash cans on the front.
So I think there's,
We still got the violation.
I think,
Give credit to those who do good, you know?
I do.
so I think there's some solutions here, right?
Everybody.
I think there's some solution, and Chris, can we, I know we talked before the meeting, we can interpret this as a board, right, and put some parameters around this interpretation, right?
Yeah.
So what do we have to do to interpret officially what this means and what the expectation is for these homeowners that are leaving them on the street compared to bringing them up to the top of their house? Well, making a, like a statement to the board that says this is how we interpret the rule for these.
The way you would do that would be like, for instance, if the document says you can't see it from the street, you just interpret the back alley to not be a street. It's a driveway or it's a whatever, right? So you're technically within compliance with the rule if it's in the back of the alleyway or something.
So that
would be an example of how you could.
that solves the alleyway issue, but what Marcelo's bringing up is Via Palma, they don't have that option.
Or you just say if it can't be visible from the street, but then the ARC is going to authorize homeowners to put up, a
Hedges
half
or
wall fence or something to block it from view. That would be another option to be in compliance and still not require people to drag.
That's another one. On the letters, every time someone receives a letter, it says you can put a hedge or a fence without, it doesn't say ARB approval.
Exactly.
They have,
It just says you can't put it up.
no, it says you can hide it with.
And the actual rule in the documents does say that they require ARC approval, but it's not in the letter.
Okay. So,
Well,
yeah, we know.
especially for townhomes though, since we're responsible to maintain
Yeah.
the exterior. People really should not be like drilling into the stucco and doing things to the
Not
exterior.
correct. Those have to be the HOA paying for it.
So I think we solved the issue with the alleyways temporarily, right? So we all agree that they can put their garbage in the back as long as it's up against their house and it's not laying all over the street or anything, right?
Yeah.
We all agree on that.
Chris, is that to your resolution?
Probably, I'm trying to find the language in here which talks about garbage cans, I can't find it.
It's in the third amendment, I think.
Yeah.
That's where I saw it, third
Amendment
amendment.
3.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, Marcel was talking about, the homes on Via Palma, but those houses on Riachuelo back on.
Correct.
So technically, they can't put their trash cans in the back because that's a street.
Who?
The one on Riachuelo, on Villa Palma.
Not on Riachuelo.
Yeah, it's
Back
like,
up.
They
Garage.
put it back on Beach on Big Palma. And so
No, that's not an alley, it's a main street.
It's a main street.
So there has a bigger
They can put their house, trash cans in the back.
All right, so here's what the language actually says. It says, no garbage, trash, refuse, rubbish, machinery, or other outside storage shall be allowed except in covered containers and sealed sanitary containers, which our trash cans are, with operable lids that are stored inside, so like in the garage, or screened from the neighbor's view. All such containers, including containers for recycling, shall be stored in a location that is not visible from the street and screened from the neighbor's view except during pickup times. Methods of shielding garbage cans or outside storage containers such as hedges, walls, and such must be approved by the ARB. So that the rule does contemplate installing visual barriers for trash cans. We would just need to figure out what that guideline looks like, what materials approved, what location it can be put up in.
But I think for them, for the townhouse, that's HOA, so HOA will have.
So I had a couple of solutions. How's that? The townhouses with alleyways, we're done, right? Now we're talking about Villa Palma and the 12 houses that are adjacent with the front of Villa Palma. So what do? One option is we deliver it to waste management and maybe getting a trash compactor and finding a location for a trash compactor where everyone can just walk in garbage there and do not worry about trash cans. That's one option. The other option is for the HOA to take the expense for these particular houses and the ARB assisting with finding a good shielding option that the HOA can purchase for these townhomes. And we're talking what, 30 townhomes maybe, 35, somewhere around there?
Mhm.
So I think if we're gonna enforce this rule, I think this is the happy medium for everybody.
Yeah.
And, it's an expense that would have to be made, and we're gonna enforce that rule.
And then we need to make a map where management know exactly which streets are not a street, versus, because we have by Via Tuscan, that Via Tuscan that's a name, but the one behind it that goes Via Otero and Via Tuscan, they face each other, the garage,
yeah.
by where Corey used to live.
I think that's Via Otero, because that's my area there. The garage faces other. So I think with us, we should be okay that the garbage bins are right next to the garage.
Is that Via Otero?
Yeah.
It's the back
there's
of
no name
the
on
main
that.
street. It's not a main
It's
street.
no name, right?
And there are garages on both sides of the street.
There's no name, but just make sure management know.
No,
Before the rule.
The consensus, what I'm hearing here is that no name streets, they can leave the garbage cans
Against the
the
building.
house, right? Anywhere, as long as it's the
But
property.
we have a name on the street. It's Via Otero.
No, the alleyways have no names.
On the back of you don't
They have
have.
no names.
Oh, we don't have names?
No, the alleyways have no names, they're alleyways. So it's not considered the front
Then
of the
we
street.
shouldn't be getting those
Correct.
violations.
Correct.
The only thing is, if they have to really mandate that the garbage cans, after, it's all collected, it has to move right next to their building.
Correct.
Because they just leave it right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and then all the garbage are overflowing.
All right,
So I just counted like 30 units between 31, down Via Palma. So
that's counting both sides.
both sides, right? And I'm almost thinking that in some locations, you may be able to put up one for two sides, so we're going to be even less than that. So why don't we look at this and say at this point, we've interpreted what we've interpreted, we'll leave Via Palma alone for the moment. We'll charge the ARB board with having us find something that would screen it across the HOA and have them come back and report to us at our next meeting with what they have found, and we'll go from there.
Great.
So what you're saying,
Yeah, homework, Mark.
so what you're saying to stop, violation of the code, you cannot do that. That's legal.
So
You
that,
can do
that
it
sounds
for
good.
10 years.
The only concern I have with that is everybody brought this up. Can we do that? Can we treat some town homeowners different than others? Or should we suspend that enforcement for now until we can get these things in place?
No, the same rule is gonna apply to everybody. You have to have your trash cans not visible from the street, and they have to be obscured from view. Now, how people accomplish that can be different based on your property, but the rule that we're trying to implement applies to everyone.
Correct, but he made the point that that section of the Palma and the section of the 12 that's across from the Palma don't have that option because both of their sides are facing the street, or one side doesn't have anything in the back.
But we're trying to fix that problem, right?
Correct,
In
but
the meantime, what do? We stop violating them, we keep violating the other people, and it doesn't make sense. That's my point.
violation.
Suspend the violation.
We cannot select it for just,
So can we do that then?
I mean, look, you guys are board, you can do what you want. I
No,
don't think
the rule.
anybody's gonna call you on it if you give some grace to people about putting their trash cans away.
Well, in theory, they have 3 letters to even compliance for we would do anything anyway. And if we rectify the situation before that.
So, but the underlying issue is, legally speaking, whether you can enforce it on some streets and not on others simply because of the difference in infrastructure, right? The rule that you're applying is still the same to everybody. I mean, if you're giving some people a pass and you're not giving other people a pass.
that's what I'm asking.
I
No,
think
but
if there's a real question on whether or not it's permitted or not permitted, I would err in favor of the homeowner. That's gonna get you in the least amount of trouble.
And also, this is not about implementing it or not, because we're saying we are going to implement it, but we need time to find the right solution. So in the meantime, what we're saying is, do we put those violations on hold until the committee finds the right solution and we put in place the right solution?
I understand what you're saying. My point though is if you're not sure about the answer, which right here, I couldn't tell you one way or the other. My default is to err in favor of the homeowner, right? So in other words, don't force it.
So don't enforce to the whole community.
You're suggesting a moratorium on enforcement of garbage cans.
You can send people nasty grams and tell them to put their stuff away, but I would not advance it to the compliance committee.
I think that's a waste of money and it's just gonna piss people off. And I just think we can do a moratorium on the townhomes until we can fix the other issues.
Not on everybody has to be. You cannot just do one area.
But the single family homes are not having any issues. It's just
I
townhomes.
know.
Well, they're-
But the thing is, the rules have to be enforced to everybody or to none.
No, Mario, every time we talk over here, being about the town, not a lot of people talk about the house. We have problems. And people, same deal, they pull their trash can out, and then it's Friday they come in, and it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday before they put them back in.
True, right?
You know, and the same deal with the trash can. Somebody got it in the front, some other have it on the side.
Yeah, so I mean, if the board is going to take the position that you're going to not advance garbage violations to the compliance committee, I would not suggest blasting that to the whole neighborhood and be like, hey guys, guess what, for the next 60 days, you can do whatever the hell you want with your trash cans, nobody's gonna do anything. I would continue to send the letters and then just tell the compliance committee to put all that stuff on hold. Because you don't want people to stop complying because they know that you're not gonna enforce it.
Yeah, but you're wasting money on letters that you want to build in the town.
I agree it would be an expense that would otherwise not be advancing, but if the alternative is that a bunch of people are just gonna say, screw it, I'm just gonna do what I want with my trash can.
I think we have 2 options. Either we enforce it or we don't enforce it.
That's it,
across
yeah.
the board.
So right now, if we got so many issues at the moment, how long we gotta take?
Right now, I'm telling you, there's a bunch of, and I know you're saying that we're talking more townhomes because of the problems that we're actually facing is what's affecting right now, that they're getting letters unfairly.
But the houses they're getting,
But
it,
the
they're
house is
supposed to.
supposed to be getting letters. Now, one thing I want to bring up on that is that, a lot of the short-term rentals, we need to figure out who's managing these properties, because at least in my street, those are the biggest offenders. They'll come and take the garbage out 3 weeks in advance, and they're inappropriately put on the sign, so the garbage truck won't take them, and they'll just sit there for 2-3 weeks, and they won't get it up until the property management decides to come back again and realize they're not picking it up, and then they fix it.
Maybe they need to come twice a month. The property manager go through.
Does their documents require that they provide you a copy of the lease? Or the property
I'm
manager?
talking just about Airbnb's.
Well, correct. But I'm just trying to say, do your documents require that they provide it to the HOA?
I didn't read that.
Because if it doesn't require it, they don't have to
I think it
provide it.
does.
I think it does, but it's never been enforced.
It's never been
You know
enforced.
that they're renting it.
Yeah, it's because they're allowed to do short-term rentals.
Yes. So, and then again, they could be the homeowner renting it or my property management renting it.
So, okay.
It's hard to find, but whenever somebody comes or we know that they're renting, we always ask for a copy of the lease. Now, do they always give it to us? No, because they're technically not always the leasing or tenant. However, we always make the effort to ask.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the way I think is if they don't want to provide you the lease, then you should have some type of arrangement with the CBD not to give them any credentials to the clubhouse and stuff like that until they provide that lease.
Ooh, that's an idea.
That's a good idea. However, that's a CBD issue.
No,
That's
see,
what I
the HOA has to work in conjunction with the CBD.
Yeah.
I think we're the ones asking for the lease and not getting it. So I think we should,
So here's the,
be the owners of that.
Tenant or homeowner.
Okay, that's-
Get that, whatever they need.
Excuse
They
me?
go directly to the CBD to get all the information.
Correct, but if you have asked for a lease and it's not provided, you can call the CBD and tell them, you know, this guy needs a lease, and maybe the CBD will get lease for you.
Or the CBD can let them know if they're a tenant, they need to come back to the HOA for that. Because again, they were not gonna tell us that they're a tenant. The only people we technically talk to is the homeowners, think of it that way. They're never gonna tell us.
So we have to figure that out.
so we are allowed to ask for a lease, it's right
Yes.
there. They have to give it to us within 10 days. So if you're doing short-term rentals, that's a week. By the time I send you my lease request, I can be like, hey, I'll give it to you in a week.
No, but the short-term rentals don't have leases. I mean, these.
They have
guys
the
are-
property manager.
Yeah, so
There's usually like a standard form that they have everybody when they check in and stuff to do it.
there's a property manager that's assigned to these properties though that are taking care of it, and they're the ones that are dropping the ball.
So for the folks that we know are doing short-term leases, I would make our point of contact just the property manager, not necessarily deal with, I mean, we don't usually.
Well, what I'm saying is that the short-term leases should have a point of contact that management reaches out to when these problems occur.
No, I agree.
Conclusion. So the people
So
in
we
the
have-
alley, we got a green light.
So, we haven't voted, we haven't agreed on anything here. I'm all for a moratorium until we can figure this out for everybody.
You have to.
Otherwise, you're gonna continue to get pissed off owners, and you're gonna be sending letters that are just a waste of money. Each one of these letters costs,
Yeah.
what, $2?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all about $2 a piece, so you multiply that by, let's say, 100 letters, just can imagine. And if we're not gonna do anything about it, I don't see the point. But does
Yeah.
anybody else want that?
Yeah, I will do the motion, just,
I don't think it's gonna take that long, right? How long you guys think you can come up with something?
If we go to a fence or if we go to a bush, we have to talk to Juan to see about, how much bushes are. That may be cheaper than a fence because you go over there, it's between the driveways. Some of the driveways are this wide, some are that wide. If you're gonna get a standard fence, it's not gonna fit in this much.
But they have fences that cover garbage cans.
Yeah, but if you only have this much.
the real estate,
Concrete driveways.
but we can figure out that, you know,
6-foot
see.
panel, you got a 4-foot space.
The thing with hedges is that in order to buy them big enough to cover the garbage can, they're gonna be expensive.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to give them a couple of years to grow.
So you're gonna suspend garbage collection for a couple of years?
No, they have a bush here, it's hidden.
It's already-
You get creative with the definition of hidden from view.
The rule is hidden, though.
Like if it's behind the bush, like
Anyway,
actually.
guys, I'm past my bedtime.
The
So-
problem with
the bushes though, it can block the traffic. You won't know.
That's right, so.
Can you make a decision on that before we adjourn? Whether or not you're gonna enforce it or not?
Let's make the motion.
Mario, sorry. Well, largely, because I have these signed studies back in 19.
Excuse me.
Oh, we need to finish up, so.
Excuse me.
Somebody make a motion, see if it gets a second to call for a vote. See how it goes.
What was that?
Make a motion for moratorium on trash. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, please. I can't hear you.
I need a construction proposal for today,
What is
A
that?
what proposal?
temporary repair proposal for a roof leak at the location,
3138
31 pieces.
and
No, there's
31?
two of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have these, are you gonna do anything with these?
Where are they? They're not on this list here, no?
Yes,
Yeah, I
they
think-
were not in the agenda.
This was the right today.
Oh,
Okay. So let's hear it then. Thank God you brought it up.
Oh, hold on. We gotta finish the garbage can thing
Yeah.
before we move on.
yeah.
No, she doesn't want us to.
Yes, we have a motion.
So does anybody have any motion?
Make a motion to promote moratorium not to do garbage for 30 days, so we can get some more information on how best to deal with the situation down in the fall.
Suggestion to the.
No, second.
Can't interrupt our motions.
I second that motion.
Okay, now we got discussion.
It's very, if you go, because like, let's say, all houses are the same, but you are, and then you are, it's better if you guys physically do this. The suggestion.
Yeah, we're just, at this point, we're gonna suspend it to information, figure out what the best plan of
The
action.
thing is, we cannot treat some homeowners one way and others another way. So we're just gonna pivot for a month. ARC is gonna help us find some solution for the houses that are issues. Once we have a solution, then we'll enforce it on everybody. Make sense? All right. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Jose?
Aye.
All right. That's unanimously. Any more recording? Now, what do we got here?
We got excuse me, we got a roof leak for unit 3152B Otero. The cost is gonna be 2,412, dry rot allowance 500.
This is a roof or?
Yep,
Okay.
roof leak.
There's also.
And then the other one is 3138 Riachuelo Lane. Total base cost is gonna be 3,994, dry rot allowance 500.
3138, that's.
Yeah, Fabian,
So I believe the total between the two is like 7,400 or something.
more or less, but let's approve based on,
Still need to make sure that their vendor is gonna.
So what happened with,
this is A&E.
That is their.
what happened with what they did?
They do, they should be good then.
We're using their vendor for everything we possibly can.
Let's see what's another company.
That's what we're doing. But, you know, the circumstance of the other house is that the lady already has her own contractor.
So is Ball picking up the check on that in the meantime?
No,
Adding
we
that to
can
the-
pay for repairs.
We're basically trying to keep it dry.
Yeah.
That was stated at the meeting that we had. in-
Yeah, no, I know. You gotta just do like the minimum that you have to keep stuff from falling apart.
Exactly. So, we have a motion to approve.
What happened with the?
He's mentioning that this was fixed before, 3138, but I don't know if it was fixed or not. I know CRC
I
went
believe
there,
that there was a repair done on this, but I believe this is something else.
Something
There was
different.
a roof repair they did, this is stucco, I believe, right?
no,
No, it's
So
still.
that's the,
right
No,
there.
but includes some stucco that wasn't done.
Temporary stuff or
Yeah.
repair isolated
It's
location.
the roof and the stucco on the wall, because they came in, this is the repair here, and the water still got in.
So.
And all this is coming from the reserve, right, for the roof, or it had to be $10,000 or more?
It depends on it, it comes from the reserve, and you guys have to prove of it coming from the reserve in your deed. That's the only way you can see it.
Exactly.
So we need
That's
to-
why they reserve support, right?
Correct,
Exactly.
yeah. So I approve the 31, well, no, I approve, I motion 3152 BL Turbo, E&E Construction, that's from the Volgenic Company, for base cost 2412 and 500 for dry rot.
Just do a motion to, you can just do a motion to approve the proposal.
Both, and then
Unless you need to change it.
3138, Riachuelo Lane, the total base cost is gonna be 3,994, dry rot allowance 500.
Second.
Seconded by Marcelo, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, actually, we have to add to that motion. Right?
Aye.
Oh, hold on.
You heard? We have to add to the motion that has to do with reserves.
Yeah, just amend the motion to.
Amend the motion.
So I amend the motion, adding to it, this money has to come from the reserve of the townhouses.
Marcelo seconded it?
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? That's it, we're done? All right, let's adjourn this meeting. It is 9:54.
Who's the owner of the manager of the company that you guys use for the electronic voting?
It's voting HOA, I don't know who the owner is.
So how and to the so is there any way that we can make the polls of how many people, the people that vote in the last special assessment back in September?
We got the number of votes, that's what the association paid for.
Or not the
No, but what every owner voted, no, that is not what we selected.
so we do the best interest of the community who will exactly go for what?
Why?
Why?
What do you mean why?
Voting is.
Why?
You can people that vote twice.
How they're gonna vote twice?
That's verified.
Yes, verified.
You can, yes, you can verify how many times somebody voted, you can't say who that, what the person voted for.
I try to vote today, and he gets me different address that is marked.
So you have to correct that one.
Yeah,
The emails come from management.
the ones that you got on your account.
Only it wasn't created. So let it go on the system. Only votes that I receive are 50 votes. So the other 280, 290 people that voted, we don't know what they are the votes.
The homeowner names and address that goes with it. It gets sent to the homeowner address that was provided to us. The address, we provide the same addresses to the company, and that's how they get the information. They one email address, and that's how they get the account.
So if they do email address to one address, it doesn't get it.
It's only one account that gets it.
And I believe management sent a communication to the owners that had multiple emails that they had to pick one for voting.
Correct.
And if they don't have just one, then they haven't been put into the system.
That's one of the reasons why the previous board, the one that you mentioned all the time, didn't use electronic voting. Because there is.
That's the most secure.
But you guys passed the bylaw that allows electronic voting, so you're contradicting yourself.
That's what it wasn't used, because there is a law in the system.
It's not
That's
flawed.
why the real elections,
So-
special elections, they don't.
Do you have
All I know is that it is a Florida statute approved vendor. Under this, go to the Florida website on electronic voting, and they're an approved vendor. We looked at 3 approved vendors, and this is the one we chose. So-
And also, I know.
We were here at the meeting that we considered those companies as well, so.
And also the bad thing is that what you do is just, you want to know who vote for to just to contact them, and that's not good. Harass people, harassing people, you and your wife harassing people, asking them how they vote, why you vote, just doing the same thing as the RICO. Let's just work together as a community, just move forward.
Even if you do it in person, it's secret ballot, you can never find out who voted what. So why do you want to do that with electronic voting?
Well, because the supervisor of elections, the one that is regulated by the state, there is a mandate for that. They don't use electronic voting for the same system.
What?
What did you say?
They don't use electronic voting. Who? The supervisor of elections.
Statewide election.
What does that have to do with HOA? I don't get it.
That's a completely different
That
statute.
is a proof of the paper that somebody voted. He doesn't need to know who exactly why they voted for.
We have a list of homeowners that voted, they
You
can
can
provide
have-
you that, it's a
Yeah,
list of homeowners.
There's no list.
You can have,
Mario,
yes, there is.
fundamentally, the state doesn't use electronic voting because the legislature has not authorized that. For homeowners associations, the legislature has specifically authorized electronic voting. So we did what we were supposed to do, that's required by the law. Now, I understand there's information you're looking for that we don't have, but we're not obligated to provide that. So unless the board's gonna change their position, what you're asking for is not available.
Okay?
Okay?
Who else?
Well, the fact that our bylaws are citing secret voting,
Yeah.
that also doesn't allow us to get that information.
Yeah, it's supposed to be by secret ballot, you're not supposed to know how people vote.
So any electronic voting, including the one tonight, you guys are going to dictate the results.
No,
No,
they give us,
no,
they
no
give us,
question.
they give us a printout of the end result, not specifically who voted for what.
The only
Just-
people that
just
manage
like the
that.
state, just like the state after an election, they don't say, Mr. Wright voted on the Republican ticket 3 times, look at this.
They take it a step further.
They just tell you what the result is.
No board member here can even contact that company. They only talk to management. We have nothing to do with them.
So, anyway, the actual.
Just try to keep, it's like I told you before, let's move forward with the community, be positive, So let's,
Motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
And then you will call me off again. Have a good night.
What? I don't know.
Second.
So motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Second. Second.
Oh, I thought we said we did it.
Okay.
All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Marcelo second. All right, Marcelo second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good night.
Thanks for coming.
I love you guys.
We can't be having you this long, guys.
No, man.
That's good.